background. I come for slave. So why you tryna give me occupation? My nigga, I ain't hate, nah. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know hoagies and some cold-blooded killers, rape and thieves. So why should I be patient? I feel like Babylon and generation B8 with clean sense, uncommon. Can you see straight? Freeze frames by the blocks in the deep state, deep fake DNA. I'm mobbing with the think tank. You on the block with the guards where the beats done. What makes it loud for a law? Get your beat stung. Freeze frame, make it hard for bombers roll through. That hating energy get barbecue beef bump. You work a third of the day to get the shame. That was out just like the murderers and rapists that you claim that you caught. So we burn a little sage, then we raid in your spot.
Get down, nigga, get your motherfucking ass down. What that motherfucking dope at? Fuck, nigga.
Pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, slow crime, cold crime, cold crime. Said he pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, cold crime, cold crime. Said he pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, cold crime, cold crime. Said he pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, cold crime. Hey, my nigga, I ain't hating. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know everything that they got come for slave. So why you tryna give me occupation? My nigga, I ain't hating, nah. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know hoagies and some cold-blooded killers, rape and thieves. So why should I be patient?
I said he pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, cold crime, cold crime. Said he pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, cold crime, cold crime. Said he pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, cold crime, cold crime. Said he pull crime, cold crime, cold crime, slow crime, cold crime, cold crime. Hey, my nigga, I ain't hating. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know everything that they got come for slave. So why you tryna give me occupation? My nigga, I ain't hating, nah. And my nigga, I ain't lazy. But I know hoagies and some cold-blooded killers, rapists and thieves. So why should I be patient?
Warning. The Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful. Snowflakes should not view this content under any circumstances, even if supervised by a G.I. Joe, Navy SEALs, Army vet, or someone with good common sense. The views and opinions expressed, including the depictions of persons of color, corrupt politicians, white people with or without a tan, haters, who have yet to brush their teeth typing angrily in the comment section with hot breath syndrome, do not reflect any official policy or position of the U.S. government. This program contains graphic language, dark comedy, unique intelligence, creativity, a high credit score, and high blood pressure when triggered. This program has also been accused of racism, violence, misogyny, mansogyny, feminism, MGTOWism, defacement of celebrities, and of course, being a bully. Welcome to Thought Crimes.
Yo, what's up, what is up, everybody? Good morning. This is your man P Solo back in the building once again, or back in your car radio, or back onto your cell phone devices. You guys know wherever they are, and I'm not a part of it, just want to be clear, wherever they're trying to do Black Museum projects for African Americans. No, wait, what am I talking about? Black Americans. We're in a new era too, by the way. Shouts out to Ghost MKC is in the building. He says Doom is here. That's right, a new check for Robert Downey. I want to get into that too, by the way. I did have a chance to check out the trailer. I got some thoughts about it, but I'm going to keep an open mind. I want to be clear about that. I want to keep an open mind to this particular conversation here concerning the Doom trailer. I know. I was kind of just open to the idea of something a little bit different. Let's see here. Petty Gibbs says Solo could probably play Doom. I do appreciate the vote of confidence, but that's if the Trump administration gets a third term. You guys know then Disney and Marvel will get desperate. Help. We need a blackie. Come on, y'all. We got to motivate the blacks, all right? We played ball enough. We didn't think he was going to get a third term. All right. So, yes, absolutely. Yeah, he getting that Oppenheimer check. All right, let me see who else is in the chat. Y'all know how it is with the think tank. If this is your first time sliding into the chat, usually Sincere Ignorance and I, P. Solo, will be a part of the wonderful voices in your earlobe saying we'll be back tomorrow, folks. Okay, you guys know how we got to switch off on these things, but look, don't worry. She sends you guys the love as well. So, y'all shouts out to Sin, but Sin will definitely be back tomorrow because I know she can't wait to talk about some more stuff. But as you guys know, shouts out to Film Town is in the building. H-Town Houston representative 713. You guys know what time it is. Shouts out to Doms. She's out there in Trinidad Tobago. She says, hey, man, you can't put that all on us. We ain't got nothing to do with Nikki. Don't worry, Doms. We don't believe you. But shouts out to Doms, too, by the way. Petty Gibbs is in the building. Ghost, like I stated earlier. We got Con Man up in the building. Con Man himself sliding through. Who else we got? We got Metaphysics is in the building as well. We got Black Seshi. I hope I'm saying that right. We got Miss Kylie Jane in the building. Now, I see in Kylie Jane. She be sliding everywhere. She's all on our Patreon. She be all on Instagram. She be popping up everywhere. So shouts out to Sister Kylie Jane. We got MM in the building as well. You guys know what time it is. We got Fire Chief in the building. We got Corey in the building as well. As many of you wonderful people continue to slide in, and YouTube chooses to hit y'all up with the notifications. And again, if you guys aren't getting our notifications, you're probably going to have to click on the bell or hype the video up or hype the live stream up. And also sometimes in that regard, you may have to subscribe or resubscribe or unsubscribe, then subscribe. Look, there's millions of accounts on YouTube every day, folks. You may just have to get in there and jiggle the handle a little bit. All right. So, okay. So, all right. Then Black said, she said, hey, man, you said it right. APS schools ain't that bad. So I appreciate you so much. Okay. Let's jump right into it. All right. I want to get to the big boys, the big stuff right here. No Diddy. All right. Let's talk about that Doom trailer. Y'all saw that Avengers Doom trailer? What y'all think about that? I'm going to open up the phones a little bit later into the program too, by the way, because I actually want to hear some of you all's perspectives. I'm going to be honest with you all. Overall, the Russo brothers usually they kind of been like, you know, let's be real, y'all. They've been collecting checks. Can we be real about that? The Russo brothers have been collecting checks, so I get it. Now, from my understanding, I've done some research. Now, the Russo brothers, they kind of already had somebody in mind that they wanted to play Victor Von Doom, right? But Kevin Feige said, hold on. You need to go holler at Robert. But there's like, Tony Robert? And he was like, yeah. Kevin Feige pushing the bib of his hat down. Yeah. Right? They said, but I thought we killed him. He says, I know, right? Right? So you know how they said, all right, well, you cashing the check, so we're going to go get his ass. You know, Robert Downey laying on his belly, on his side, you know, collecting that Tony Stark's MCU money, probably the biggest lottery cash out in his career. You know, he said, hey, sure, why not? Right? So the Russo brothers said Kevin Feige's idea was to incorporate Robert Downey Jr. Now, I know some people, when they saw that, I know. All right, I know. The dead people are booing. I get it. Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all voted for Obama and Trump. All right, I get it. Now, with that being the case, I am an open-minded individual, especially when it comes to the thespians, all right? Again, that's when it comes to the thespians. So, look, I say, look, if they can pull it off, they can pull it off, right? You know, I've seen a lot of people get upset, angry, and I get it, too, because, I mean, Jesus, like, Robert Downey Jr. has been the star of the MCU for probably 2 decades now, right? I mean, as long as Messi has been crying, as they call him, the FIFA princess, right? Isn't that correct? All right. So, and I'm gonna get into the Messi Ronaldo situation, because it looks like you're gonna be having some mess. All right, pun intended. But yeah. So anyway, I'm like, I'll see what Robert does. Now, again, like I said, I'm not always the biggest fan of Robert Downey's acting style. A lot of times, for all of the stuff that they've given Denzel, saying, well, he's kind of playing the same guy in every film. Like he's kind of playing different variations of Malcolm X, right? I'd say whatever, right? But anyway, I typically find a lot of times Robert Downey is a little bit monotonous with some of the acting, right? And what I mean by that is like, Sherlock Holmes is kind of like a derivative of like Tony Stark's smart alecky, fast staccato talking, witty type of sense of humor. And then, we've kind of seen that in other situations. Like he actually had to step all the way into character with Tropic Thunder, but I'm going to see. I'm actually interested. Can Robert Downey Jr. pull off Sinister? Because let's be real, Dr. Doom is a very sinister scientific magician. He's incorporated technologically advanced principles along with the esoterics, right? Esoteric technology, basically. Now, it will be interesting to see, can Robert Downey be scary? Okay? I'm not talking about being mean or just being cruel on screen. I kind of felt like with Thanos, my personal opinion, it was kind of like an evil eggplant. Does that make sense to you all? Right? And I just feel like, he wasn't, I know a lot of people felt like, okay, because he was doing a finger snap and it was like, oh my God, he's vicious. And, I'm saying the design was okay, but I'm going to be honest with y'all. I wasn't really into Endgame like that. Does that make sense? Like, I wasn't really into it. I'm not saying it was trash. I think it was a fun popcorn fest, but some of the guys online was like, man, Thanos is one of the greatest villains of all time. I'm like, really? Really? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? He, looks like a molded pickle in the face. I'm sure as we move forward in VFX and AI technology poisoning communities, the black ones, we're going to look back at the rendering of, dill pickle face Thanos and be like, man, it's one step above Toy Story. All right. So, I thought it was all right. I didn't, I was kind of like, yeah, he's, mopey. He kind of wants to kill a bunch of people to bring his people back and all that type of stuff. Now, I thought the voice acting was actually what was the charm of the Thanos character in itself. And of course, if you read about the Infinity Gauntlet, you'll see that Thanos in the comic book, I saw a lot of guys online. They was like, man, I can't believe they got Captain Marvel, whooping Thanos' ass. I said, well, in the book, he is actually a simp. Death. He's literally a simp for death. Like, if you go read the Infinity Gauntlet series and what goes on with Thanos and that damn glove, you'll see that your man isn't as alpha as the red pillars would try to make him out to be. And I just kind of hate that sometimes these dejected guys with daddy issues, people grow up, people can have father issues. I'm not shaming you if you have your father and mother issues and you're working through them in a healthy sense. But I always hate that they kind of merged into the HOV lane with everybody else, because I'm not here to, go to the movies and then go online and then you validate basically a 3D rendered character. You want to validate your identity through that. So I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like, when the guys was like, yeah, and he snapped the finger, he just like killed everybody in Wakanda. He killed people here and there. It's all right. Now, like I told you guys, like my favorite scene in the Avengers Endgame story arc is when he was whooping Hulk's ass. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes Hulk is just a dumbass, and Hulk thought he could just rage his way through that battle. Hulk went into that battle with Thanos like Deontay Wilder, the Alabama Gamma Hammer. He went into that battle, got choke punch, hit in the torso. Then he had to kneel like he was kneeling to Zod. And then ever since he had got his ass whooped by Thanos, y'all got to remember, like, Hulk didn't come back outside like that. He said, well, look, Banner, you know what? Since I'm so fucking stupid, like, maybe we can kind of work this out, because I'm sure if you was kind of been at the wheel a little bit, I might have not have got my ass whooped so bad by that purple nigga. Okay? So those are the highlights that I enjoyed about the Avengers Endgame. I didn't really cry when Tony Stark was dying. I did see people in the theater, and again, I'm not one of these guys. I'm not going to come through here and mess up people's fun like, oh, yeah, I'm too cool for school. But I do see that, when Tony Stark was dying on screen, and I think Sin and I, we went to the movie theaters for that one. Yeah, I think we did. There were people in the theater that was like, and I was like, oh, okay, I really feeling this character. And I looked around from a corporate perspective. I said, you know what? They're probably going to bring this whole back. I'm not going to lie to you all. When I saw all of the people in the theater damn near crying, I said, yeah, they're going to bring this tramp back. I actually believed they were going to bring either Tony Stark's back, they were going to bring Robert Downey back. I always felt they were going to bring him back because he clearly was the star of the whole Avengers line. Even though it's Captain America's team, I think Chris Evans is a decent actor, but he didn't have the charisma that Robert Downey did, okay? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of felt they was going to bring him back, and sure enough, when they demasked Doom, that's what they did. Now, with that being the case, also let me get to LeVon's question here, or statement. You were a mess yesterday when I mentioned the I mentioned the late, great Dr. Sebi, the forerunner of living healthy. I was invited to visit him. Funny brother, yet we need to put respect on his life works because we need. I guess you didn't finish the rest of it. Yeah, LeVon. No, I think Dr. Sebi, it seems like he's done some things. Actually, we know some people, some prominent people that actually were students of Dr. Sebi. I never used any of his products, okay? But I heard people that said, like, some of his stuff worked. Yeah, and then I heard some people that say, hey, man, it actually made me sicker. So it's kind of one of those things, LeVon. But I don't really know or have any gripe against Dr. Sebi per se. I know that, Nipsey said, they said that Nipsey was working on a documentary and all this other type of stuff. But we'll get into that later. If you guys want to call in and talk about Dr. Sebi, you have that opportunity as well. But, look, Robert Downey was a star, right? He really was. Chris Evans, I think, he can act, and I think he fits the bill of Captain America more than anybody else that we've ever seen. All right? But Captain America is even drier than Batman. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you all. I mean, listen. Captain America's sidekick is Bucky. A lot more boring than Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Batwoman and her wife. Okay? Like, Bucky is, like, really boring. Okay? That's why the Winter Soldier story arc was one of the best things that happened to Bucky. All right? Because I'm telling you all, nobody cares about Bucky, okay? Nobody. So I'm not saying that Chris Evans himself cannot be charismatic. Can he draw attention? Clearly he can, because people were interested in Captain America, and most of the people they had to play Captain America on the live screen, I mean, they sucked, all right? Matter of fact, let me see something. Let me type this in real quick. Let me show y'all something, man, because I'm telling you, it was a struggle. Lord have mercy, it was a struggle for the Captain America story arc, okay? Let me see if I can put this on the screen for y'all real quick. Let's put this on the screen. All right. All right. Also, all right. Sorry about the dead air for the moment here. Yeah, Levon, I mean, listen, if you want to call in, you call in, but please don't try to convert the chat to debating Pan-Africanism versus FBA. Listen, I love us, but y'all know some of our ideologies be clashing all over the place. We talk about comic books 1 minute, then we debating about South Africa versus FBA. So y'all got to be careful because y'all know that gets triggered very quick with us. But anyway, I'll tell you this. Listen, I tell you what, Chris Evans had more flair than this guy right here. All right, that played the early Captain America. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. If you go back to the old school Captain America film, y'all should go back and look at it. It's an old film. They got a couple of them. They got one from the 70s. This one was in 1979. That's why I said, you know, for Chris Evans, for the previous Captain Americas compared to the previous live-action Captain Americas, you know, Chris Evans is looking like Tom Hanks, okay? Because all of the other, listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. You got to be careful with Captain America's costume because if you do it wrong, no Diddy, I mean, it looks like a gay porn star costume. You got to be careful with Captain America's costume. You either get it right or it's wrong, okay? It's that simple. So I remember going to see the first Captain America film. And I said, hey, not bad. Not bad. They actually kind of pulled through, kind of made, because think about it, like, Batman kind of already looks stupid with the ears, but I mean, at least the color scheme is solid. It's all black, you know, and, you know, you can make it work. Now, you got the 1969 campy Batman, or 1966 campy Batman with Adam West, you know, the great Eartha Kitt and, you know, the Mexican Joker, right? Or the Spanish Joker, better yet, right? But, you know, you can make Batman work. I mean, you put anything in black, you can damn near make it work. Captain America's colors are just inherently campy. It's red, white, and blue. I mean, look, military psyop propaganda. I mean, Jesus is one step above G.I. Joe, right? So it's either you get the Pentagon propaganda correct or, you know, I mean, it looks like we're going to be working for Pride Month. Okay? All right? And so that's why I think overall, as much as they could work with Captain America, my honest opinion, I really think overall it was going to pale in comparison to like just the property of Tony Stark's. You know, because it's like, let's be real. It's like it's Mecca, it's armor, he's a billionaire, he's a playboy. You know, he's got a sleazy French goatee and mustache, and it looks like for the guys, he's just banging a lot of women, and, you know, it's all that type of stuff. So he was going to be more popular, all right, than Captain America in the film, right? And becoming one of the key marquee properties, like up there with Spider-Man, you know, you can't really go wrong with the web slinger, right? So, you know, for a long time, people were wondering, can they pull off an Iron Man film? And eventually they did with the first Iron Man film, and it turned out to be pretty good. Up until then, I think the most solid Marvel project outside of Blade in 1999, 98, 99 would be the first Spider-Man film. Well, the first major theatrical release Spider-Man film in the 2000s with Tobey Maguire. And they kind of had him trap a helicopter between the Twin Towers. And I think actually around that time, you know, 9/11 happened. So they had to like airbrush a lot of the Twin Towers out of the promo propaganda, right? So people think that, you know, overall, you know, it's kind of like it's Iron Man show. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tony Stark's is dope, you know. I mean, it is Iron Man show, don't get me wrong. Captain America's dope and everything. And it's cool. But like I said, after a while, it's kind of boring. I'm going to be real with you all. I mean, outside of fighting the Red Skull, I mean, the average American can't really name Captain American villains. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay? Look, even on honest, average-wise, you can't really name too many Iron Man villains. I'm not saying they don't have them, but like you go up to the average, person and, they like, man, name Captain America's arch nemesis, or, they'd be like, the outside of the Red Skull, I don't know, the Black Panthers, I don't know, right? Also, some people were asking, they said Batwoman's gay. Yeah, the grown-up adult version is not Batgirl, there's Batwoman. Batwoman, let me see something here, let me put her on the screen. Not Batman. My bad. This thing said Batman gay. There's Batwoman. Yeah, Batwoman. How Batwoman, let's see here. Let me put this on the screen. How Batwoman's big decision to fit into the history of gay superheroes. Yeah, Batwoman. Y'all know Batwoman. It's the one with the red hair. This Batwoman. Yeah, she's gay. Some people's like, bro, what? Yeah. So in Batwoman 17, available from DC, in print and digital version today, the openly gay heroine, Batwoman, a.k.a. Hold on. All right. Ooh, they tripping, man. Man, hold on, y'all. Because, man, you know what? Everything's behind the wall now. I mean, we ain't even on Patreon. Y'all notice that? That's scary. That tells y'all that privatization is happening really quickly. All right, here. Let's see. Let me put this on the screen if I can find it. LGBTQ characters, the fear of a gay Batwoman. Okay, yeah, this one. I don't know if there's a fear, but because there's a lot of them characters. All right, so there's other people that may not know. Yeah, the one Kate, the fear of a gay Batwoman. Yeah, but see here, they go to the whole history. That scared me. I thought that was another damn paywall. All right, please click around King Tut. I was like, all right. Let's see here. The dynamic duo, Joker Penguin, blah, 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 blah. Batwoman announced on the cover of Detective 223, Rock Batcave's status quo. However, the major addition, blah, blah, blah. Let's go scroll down. I think they're just going to go through a list of all of the gay heroes. But, yeah, if you guys remember, they had a series on CW, and I actually was excited for it to see what they was going to do with it. What was the lady? I forget her name. They were kind of making her out to be kind of giving her that Leonardo DiCaprio swag. But for the ladies, I forget her name. Let me see some Batwoman CW, and then they ended up replacing her with the sister. Batwoman. Yeah, the original Batwoman. Let me put this on the screen here. All right, CW has found Batwoman, but let's see here. Oh, it's the Los Angeles Times. I know a paywall gonna come up, but how is she? Yeah, ooh, they not playing. They telling you price quotes. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me put this up on the screen because her name was Ruby Rose. That was her name. Yeah, Ruby Rose. All right, I remember this one. Yeah, so they was trying to figure it out, and then they had some sort of big controversy. And then I believe Javicia Leslie ended up replacing her. Now, again, I tried to look. I'll tell you, side project. I'll watch damn near any campy superhero show or Cape Crusader show. All right. So I did watch a little bit of the one with Ruby Rose. And it was all right. It's CW. What are you going to get? I mean, you're talking about the same station where they got Riverdale. And on Riverdale, they got people running around in gangs. All right. And so they had this big situation, and they replaced her with Javicia. Now, the writing when Javicia got in there was just horrible. I actually thought she was a pretty decent talent, very athletic and fit, easy on the eyes, right? But boy, some of the tropish stuff, like the script they was getting her. I think they had one scene, I kid you not, sending out. This is when we clicked off. She said, let me get it going, y'all. Hold on. She said, what did she say? She said, She was in a cave. She was underground confronting somebody. Oh, it was the little technician that was working with Batwoman, and I guess she stole the suit, right? And then they were like, "You can't do that," right? And I tell you all, this script sounded like it was written by TYT, the Young Turks, right? They said, "You can't do that," and she said, "Why?" Because I'm a dark-skinned, wide-nosed 4C. Hold on here. I'm a dark-skinned, wide-nosed 4C black woman raised by a single black mother that almost aborted me in the back alley. I said, wait. I said, hold on, man. The writing is just crazy. All right. Let me see something here real quick. I wonder what will happen to Black Cap. Shouts out to Jay. You already know what's about to happen. I'm going to need that back. We're going to need that back from you. All right? We're going to need that back from you. Yeah, so I ended up clicking off of that. I don't think the Batwoman series continued on any further. In fact, I think the writing staff was like a white woman and an Asian woman. You know, and I was like, yeah, not that progressive. Shouts out to BK. Brandy Kane is in the building. You know, getting some of your DMs too, Brandy Kane. Like I said before, man, you cutting a fool out there. But, yeah, we getting all type of messages, you know. I keep getting people leaving comments. And I'm going to be honest with you, we had to get more active on our IG. I post things randomly there. But I keep seeing comments keep going to the video clip with Brandy Kane and Billion, but it's like, I guess, Mexican Los Angeles, like, you know, Angelinos, Mexican Angelinos, and they keep telling me like, yeah, and yeah, y'all done for, and ooh, and La Raza. I was like, what the hell is going on? I said, hey, partner, y'all better get from under my page. I don't know none of y'all niggas, all right? Let's see here. Yeah, the writing was pure garbage. Shouts out to Jarvis. Yeah. Hey, you know what? And this is the thing I want to say real quick, because I think, just to say this, I'm going to go back to the Doom conversation. Then we're going to get into Cristiano Ronaldo and him liking post that says FIFA is fixed. And then I'm going to get into the little baby conversation too, by the way. And then I'll open up the phone lines if you guys want to call in, right? Or I see what mood I'm in too, by the way. All right, but listen. So, like I said, I tried to watch it, but let's just be real. These people drop the ball with these properties because they feel like it. I'm going to be real with y'all. With the Batwoman situation with Ruby Rose, and they got to understand, like, white male nerds, like, they are a dissatisfied group that they're not satisfied with nothing. They're actually sitting there, I was having a conversation about this. They're fans of nothing. Oh, yeah, no problem, BK. You know, no problem. Because, like, for me, I'm like, you know, what's going on? You know, as long as, you know, BK, if we can, you know, again, if we can bring attention to anything that y'all posting, y'all let us know, too, by the way. But, yeah, I keep getting all these people, we racist against Mexicans. I was like, boy, hey, the Mexican flag been in our thumbnail, pimp. So y'all can move around, buddy. Watch out. All right, y'all know damn well that don't move me on nothing. All right. So anyway, like I said before, with that being the case, you know, we said we was interested in, you know, the Batwoman series at the time, and we was going to see like who was going to end up replacing Ruby Rose. And this is what I'm saying about, you know, white male fans that I actually hear a lot of people mistakenly try to placate to. These guys are never satisfied. They're not satisfied with no Superman film. They're not satisfied with no Spider-Man and Batman are the two films that they typically enjoy all the time, right? But at the time, though, you know, I saw real time people were interested in the potential of Batwoman across the board, except the white male nerds. You know, the neurotic niggas, right? Nerdrotic. Y'all ever see him, the weird old white guy with the tape in his glasses, him and his wife look alike, kind of got some school shooter energy at 59. But anyway, so that base is already riled up, period, because they just inherently, they always feel emasculated somewhere. Let me tell y'all something about white male nerds. They always feel upset about something. It don't matter what you try to placate to them in property. it don't matter. They were the last samurai with Tom Cruise, but then they were like, well, Tom Cruise don't look like the average guy, so right? Then people gave them Captain America, but then Chris Evans is too tall and then cut, and he get to date too many other groups of women, so they like, right? Then Tony Stark's, but they like, well, we need a real life Tony Stark, so that's why they gravitated towards Elon Musk. Right, and remember they were like, Elon Musk is the real Tony Starks, and I was like, not really. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, not really. I get what y'all are trying to say, but that's Elon Musk being a hustler, and he knew that they believed in the Tooth Fairy, and Tony Starks is the Tooth Fairy. So what he did, all he did was just put on the getup. Man, he had his hair like him, because y'all know that hair was fake. He grew the hair out like him. Had a mustache cut like him, and he would wear an aviator pilot leather coat, and the little insecure white boys that got daddy issues, they was like, oh man, he's our real life hero. That's all they want, y'all gotta understand that all they want is a real life Santa Claus. They want to believe Santa Claus is real somewhere. They're kind of delusional, but you can never satisfy that base, and a lot of these companies, they typically do that. So what I saw with Batwoman with Javicia, number one, black folks was already interested. It was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. They got a black woman over there. All right, we're about to see her like do some cartwheels, kick niggas in the back of their head, put on some spandex, get to see her flip upside down and all that type of stuff, right? But then they had this horrible writing, and then they said, well, we're looking to acquire, the white male nerds 35 and up. I kid you not. This is exactly what they said with the whole Batwoman situation, right? It's the same thing they did with Black Lightning. Black Lightning was doing well, but they kept moving it around. And they do this with all of these black shows that are successful. They start moving them around, and people don't know, like, they don't know where their wallet is. They can't find them. Yo, what channel's Black Lightning on? Oh, it's still on CW. But then they like, oh, man, what happened? I thought it was like it came on at 7. No, we moved it back to 9:30. Why? Just to fuck with y'all. So they move these black shows around, or these black-led properties around, and then they flop. And then they're like, see, that's why we can't invest in no nappy hair. Right? And so that's what happened with, the Batwoman series. Not only that, it was, they ain't have no black people, no black man, no black woman on deck writing. So the writing came off really bad. But that one speech she gave, that progressive liberal speech, and again, shouts out to y'all if y'all listening, whatever, y'all can vote whoever y'all want to, but man, that was horrible. So with that being the case, they default back to who they think is going to traffic these properties the best. The problem is that a bunch of people went to go see Iron Man. A bunch of people went to go see Captain America. A bunch of people go to see Hulk. A bunch of people would have went to go see Black Widow, because it's not even just they doing it with black folks. Y'all got to understand with these superhero properties, they're very nervous, period. And they can't weather the storm. It's kind of like with, what was that? The Eagle jeans, whatever the jeans was, what Sydney Sweeney was talking about. It was the jeans, right? And what did I tell y'all at the time? I said, they about to flop this quarter. They was like, well, Trump got in, and then screw everybody else. We about to go placate to the virgin white males that are 35. All right? And, man, that shit flopped. I said, man, they ain't got no money. What you talking about? Why you think they always online?
Well, I mean, we're looking at the metadata here.
I'm telling y'all, you get in the rooms, this is how they think.
We look at the online traffic, and typically white males between ages 18 to 35, that's the demo we're looking for, because they're very active socially.
And that's it. And they don't have any money like that. I'm not saying they don't have any free spending money, but they ain't got no money like that for you to dump everybody else. You dump up. Y'all going backwards. Okay? And they find that out too, because remember, Dunkin' Donuts tried the same thing. It's about my genetics and donuts. I was like, wow. They trying to do some light Nazi action. I'm here for the crash out. Y'all know how I am, man. I'm here for y'all to mess up. I love it. I know people was getting upset. I said, please. I said, bro, they about to crash out on that one. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Crash out, you better break the bad boy.
I mean, I don't know what y'all talking about. I know people were like, oh my God, it's inhumane. It's not right. That's true. That, morality, you vote with your dollars. And if you don't want to be bothered with that, you don't have to. But that's why I said that's the beauty of it. You can elect to go broke in America. I don't think people understand that. We see these companies and they make these grand U-turns. And then they put their pinky ring in your face as a consumer. I said, that's beautiful. I can elect not only to spend money with you, I can go online and tell other people, don't buy from them. Okay? I don't know why we get so sensitive about it. Outside of course, people say, well, it just innately triggers me. That's fine. Take you some L-theanine. But get some action. Y'all got to get active. So when I saw that, I said, oh, wow, y'all talking about genetics and gene splices and y'all eating donuts in Argentina. And then, you had one of the little high-end workers coming out and they were like, yeah, we tired of this. I said, well, buddy, we can go. You already know what's about to happen. Krispy Kreme. All right, here we come. All right. I mean, listen, it is Nazi property, but at least they know when to shut the fuck up. They come from Nazis. They get it. Krispy Kreme gets it. No. Don't say no. Don't say no. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. Oh, no. We can't. No. Who cares? But Joe, man, I mean, we really should get on this anti-DEI train. No. No, we gotta. No. We some of our best locations are inside Atlanta. No. But Dunkin' Donuts came out and they was like, nah, we about to stun on y'all. Remember they had that, what's that little funny looking white boy that was by the pool? He talking about Nazis and donuts. I said, boy, ooh, yo, you better get your business started in life. I see black folks online every day telling me, man, I don't know if I went to lunch my business. Boy, you see who running these companies? I told y'all about the CEO of Target. Just kept talking. Tell me, yeah, it's over now. I said, bro, they about to have you to step down. The one thing now, they might stump with that other race shit, but I'm telling you all, they don't want to live with the poors. That, yeah, like you said, Petty Gibbs, that is risky business, shawty. Okay? So, risky business in this situation, it would depend if Robert Downey Jr. could actually pull this off. I mean, right now he's going to be carrying the West. And that's Hollywood, and he's not Luka Doncic. All right? Let's see some here. Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. So we're going to see if he's going to be able to carry this because, outside of the Russo brothers, and I'm going to be honest with you, my personal opinion, outside of the Russo brothers, whether they were able to put together a nice script with a little bit of Pentagon sticky notes. Yeah, I know all of these major films come through the Pentagon. Petty Gibbs says here, unpopular opinion, Dunkin' Donuts is mid. You know what? I'm not the biggest Dunkin' Donuts guy. I'm just being honest with you all. But, if you find a location where the donuts are actually fresh, at least for the most part, the plain donuts are pretty good. All right? I do agree with that. Avengers Doomsday trailer reveals first look at Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom. Now, I think my honest opinion, I think they should have kept this a secret. That's what I feel. Have it like a grand reveal. Because it's kind of like, some people online, they're for it, but there are people online, they're like, I'm not really interested in seeing Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. Now, I know some people say, oh, man, come on, bro, give him a chance. That's fair. But realistically, come on, man. People been watching Robert Downey in an iron mask, no pun intended, for about 20 plus years. Now, again, he could pull it off. I have to see which side of the story arc. I have an idea what story arc they're going in, but I'm sure they're going to be switching some things around at the last minute. You get what I'm saying? But, you know, I have seen people, they're online, they was like, I'm not really feeling it. You know, I will say my honest opinion about the trailer. Hold on here. Hold on. All right, let me see something here. Yeah, my honest opinion about the trailer. Can't front, a little underwhelming. You know, it was a little underwhelming. I'm not going to lie to you all. Let's see here. I can't front though. I'm kind of tired of seeing now Professor Xavier. Does that make sense? Do you guys? I mean, am I the only one? Are you guys kind of tired of Professor Xavier a little bit? Because I don't know. I just think somehow he's part of the blame. Like, you know, but this is where we get into, like, MCU is in the era of, they're in their phase right now of we invented the remix. You know, this is the dirty money phase of Bad Boy. Okay? And it's kind of like, look, y'all, I didn't go see Deadpool and Wolverine. I didn't, because, you know, I took it on good faith. You know, after Logan died, you know, in Logan, you know, the Johnny Cash tribute, basically, it's a Johnny Cash tribute film. You know, I took it in good faith. All right, that's it. We're done here. Okay, let's go to something else. And they're like, but wait, Logan's back with Deadpool. Petty Gibbs says the trailer was overstimulating. You know what? It could be the way the trailer was cut for you. You know, a lot of these guys are like, well, a lot of these companies, these studios are like, with these trailers, they're cutting them almost in the same way for each genre. You know, the horror genre, the trailers got their little clock shit going on, that type of stuff in the background, and maybe they have some faint sample of a recognizable pop tune. You might hear Jay-Z in the background. You gotta get that dirt off your, you know, so it's that type of cut of trailer. But yeah, I mean, I'm just like kind of wanting them to kind of wrap up this phase here. You know, I think Patrick Stewart's a dope actor, but they're not really creating scripts to bring another unique aspect of Professor Xavier to the silver screen. You know, it's kind of like, actually, for the last couple of films, whenever we see Professor Xavier, he's just been sitting in the chair, losing his mind, facing in different directions in films. You know, so here he's facing the window. Let me see what someone say. Dude says, "Yeah, nah, I'm tired of Wolverine." Yeah, man. I mean, he's become like the Nike swoosh for them. It's all kind of worn out, and I just don't think there's anything else right now that Hugh Jackman can offer that character, you know. And I think Logan would have been a great space to cap it off. I think they did the Wolverine Deadpool movie because they're trying to reset this multi-universe crack obsession that they've had for the past, I don't know, 10 films. You know, at first it was intriguing to people, but then like people like, okay, it's two Bobby Browns. All right, we get it. Ooh, all right. There's a light-skinned Michael Jackson and dark-skinned Michael Jackson. Like, after a while, it becomes a shtick, you know, and then you start seeing it done in different properties, and it's not interesting, okay? It's like, what is it, Double Impact with Van Damme? It's like the one twin Van Damme that's nice and meek, and he's a good boy, and then the other Van Damme, he's like, just like an evil mobster nigga, right? So it says here, to be fair, the Deadpool Wolverine fight is bananas. They have to make that fight interesting. They would have to make that fight interesting because you like, what else are you guys going to be going on here? And then they had the cameo for Wesley Snipes as Blade, and I think Wesley's Blade is, everybody knows it's the best. Sorry, Sticky Fingers, right? But I already knew once I saw Wesley Snipes pull up with the gray box, right? The Bart Simpson box, the gray New Jack Swing Box. I said, yeah, we ain't getting that Mahershala Ali film. And did y'all see Kevin Feige recently saying, yeah, one of my greatest regrets and mistake is that we couldn't launch it with Mahershala Ali. It's because you guys didn't want to. You guys kind of didn't want to. And remember, some of the costumes that y'all saw in Sinners came from the Blade film. I love us. We are some faithful Negroes. But some of us was like, man, that's dope in Sinners. Hey, Thought Crimes, I can't wait for the Blade film. I said, niggas, y'all ain't getting that Blade film. They are giving the costumes away like Goodwill to other black properties. Oh, you got a movie about twins fighting vampires and one of them becomes a vampire? Here, use some of the shit from Blade. All right. Innovator J says they should have been did Gambit's story. You know what? I get you. And I actually agree with you, Innovator J. If Disney controlled if Disney controlled Marvel, wasn't so focused on blockbuster. I think if they weren't so focused on blockbuster films, I think we would have gotten a Gambit movie. The problem is for them, who's going to be Gambit's villain? You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think they have the patience to develop, a 3-part trilogy where we get to see Gambit, become Gambit along the way. We get to see Remy become Gambit. So, I get what you're saying, and a lot of people, they talk about Gambit. Gambit is a dope character. I mean, come on. Work with black folks because, black niggas play spades and dominoes all day. All right? But, yeah, my honest opinion here, I'm not going to lie. When I saw the trailer and it opens up with Charles Xavier, Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier. And I think, again, Patrick Stewart I think he's a dope actor. But brother, we are really, really wearing this thin here now. Okay? And let's see here. I'm going to go into just still shots. I thought this was a good shot here. I thought this right here was a good shot, looking like LeBron James, getting ready to lose a final. Okay. I thought this was a good shot. Again, I lost interest immediately when I saw Professor Xavier in his dirty room. All right. I regained interest when they had Doom in this position here. The cinematic flair here. I thought that was a good shot. And then they hit you with the Marvel Studios. And then, of course, I'm still not sure how I feel about, his portrayal of Reed Richards. I do think the costume designs, for the new Fantastic Four, I think they are very effective. Okay. Well, Petty Gibbs, not yet, but when we do, we're going to let y'all guys know because a lot of times we get backed up with doing content and then taking breaks too, by the way. I'm going to be real with y'all. You kind of just want to watch stuff without having to do reviews. If you already create all day, create every day, no regrets. But sometimes you just want to dissipate and keep things for yourself. All right. But yeah, I think here, I'll be honest with you. This is probably the first part of the trailer where it felt a little underwhelming. And I don't know if it's because these 3 properties have been a little disappointing too. I think Anthony Mackie, I think he's a dope and fantastic actor. I actually thought physically he was more than fit to carry the mantle of Captain America. But, again, 17 to 35-year-old white males complain about everything. And we know white exec heads, they bend to their will because they assume that they were going to be the ones spending the money to go out and see that. When really, most of the times it's families, it's groups, it's couples, it's trios. It's people just hanging together. That's actually, if you go look at who buys tickets, that's actually how a lot of ticket sales work for these types of films. People, a lot of times, they're going in groups, or maybe you have somebody just, buy themselves off work, but, they're like, no, we're going to hone in on 17 to 35-year-olds, the white males, because they feel disenfranchised in this country. Everybody says that with them too, even politics. I'm like, for everybody that's talking, how come nothing ain't working? Why ain't they never satisfied? I told you, they don't care about that shit. Shrew says, I'm not watching that shit. I get you. Again, I'm going to keep an open mind. I still feel more pulled to go to the movie theater to watch The Odyssey, though. And I probably didn't see every damn version of Odyssey films, even down to the bad ones on Hallmark. All right, back in the day, like on PBS, when they had like the film that was the different versions of Gulliver's Travels, and you don't know who the act, you don't know none of the actors or actresses, like they all from like Ireland and all this other shit. Like I didn't see all versions damn near of Odyssey, right? And I saw some of the the clips for Christopher Nolan's one. I actually feel like, okay, I'm interested in going to a movie theater to see it. I think Disney's Marvel kind of ran themselves in the ground. I wouldn't just say it's the films by themselves, the cinematic theatrical releases. I actually kind of feel the streaming shows kind of burnt the public out. Because the films have already been in existence for about 20 plus years. People were still going to see them because they felt like isolated events until they were rooting everything together for the eggplant on steroids known as Thanos to go around snapping his fingers at everyone like RuPaul. And I think in the middle of all of that, they had these streaming shows like Loki and She-Hulk, and they kept tying everything into these grand Marvel film releases. I actually think that's what burnt the public out, my personal opinion, and people started losing interest in. They stopped seeing the shows, the films themselves as unique. If Robert does well, they will call Peter Thiel Dr. Doom. Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, this particular shot here felt a little underwhelming. All right, I'm not going to lie to you. And let me see some here. And then you had Thor, of course. I think they're going to try to give Thor a little bit more bite because they kind of played him a little bit in Avengers, And let's kind of be real. Like, Thor's fight scenes have kind of high-key been a little trash on screen. Like, given, like, the type of quote-unquote God powers that he has, he actually, continues to be a god in the comic books, but his fight scenes have been kind of a little trash. Am I wrong about that? Like, I mean, his brother in them Netflix films get better fight scenes than him. All right, yeah. So, with that being the case, though, they have him kind of narrating and piecing everything together, and I think they're going to be using this one to try to also fix this little parallel crack universe thing that they got going on where people can't follow none of these storylines. Teal is Doom is Elon Iron Man. I think both are neither. You know what I'm saying? But I know why people would make that. But if you want to say on an energetic perspective, you could argue that. But I just don't even think both of the real life men are even as bright as the characters in the comic book. The characters in the comic, they're fucking evil. Don't get me wrong. I want to be clear. Yeah, but like Teal rushed to Argentina because he thought Messi would win. I can see Peter Thiel now being at a parade speaking very bad gringo Spanish. Yes, absolutely. I love these things with that being the case, So, look, I'm going to be real with you. Yeah, Teal is Justin Hammer. That's actually, you know what? I got to give it to you, Matt. That is more correct. That is correct. I do feel Teal is Justin Hammer. I do. Yeah, that nigga's Justin Hammer. That's Justin Hammer right there. I gotta give it to Mick. You got it in the chat. You dropped the best one. Yeah, and this scene here with Shuri, Letitia Wright, clearly she's pulling up on Namor because they're gonna have to forge an alliance, and got M'Baku there. I think the actor. Actually, you guys should check it out. He does great voice acting. He did a series. He did voice acting for a Batman series on Spotify. Turned out to be pretty good. He played Bruce Wayne. He ended up playing Batman, of course. And he voiced it very well. Got a lot of positive reviews. I listened to it. I think I made it to 3 or 4 episodes in. But I think he did a pretty good job. But anyway, clearly they pull up on Namor to try to forge an alliance, and everybody's kind of quote unquote uniting around because Doom, this impending threat. Now, I think this is going to be a 2-parter, right? I think there's going to be Avengers Doomsday, and then I think there's Avengers Secret Wars, right? Look, I'm gonna be real with you all. They're going to have to change some things up, okay? All right, they really are going to have to change some things up. I just feel like, okay, now one thing I like strong about this trailer more than anything else is the introduction of Cyclops in his classical uniform. All right, I thought that was a really good shot. Okay, I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was effective. It did not look corny.
They should have did that from the beginning.
I actually agree with you said.
I mean, like they're trying to get things correct like 40 years later.
There you go, 40 years a slave of Disney, right?
And also, the real people who have the intelligence of Tony Stark and stuff, the U.S. government is killing them. So, what you have is the Timu fake versions.
No, she's right. She's right about that. No, Cyclops, I'm not going to lie to you all. I think Cyclops, no Diddy, I think he was the best looking thing in this damn trailer. All right, something new. Again, I like Letitia Wright. I think high key they still kind of play around with her energy. Yeah, because they kind of got her moving around sometimes like Catwoman. Like it's kind of weird shit, So I don't really mess with it like that. But I think they're going to have to change some things up. I do believe this is the introduction of the X-Men. I'm ready for them to move past even casting Patrick Stewart. I know y'all like, damn, bro, you going to spin the block on Pat. Yes, I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. We got to move past it. All right? I'm past Patrick. We're past Patrick. Okay? Look, I'm ready for them to just reset the whole series, bring in some fresh blood, bring in some new actors and actresses, and let's see where we can go with it. But I do love the costume design. And the only reason why they're really doing this, y'all, is because they're seeing how well X-Men 97 series has been. Okay? And this is also cross-branding, too. So, the X-Men 97 series already laid the foundation. So you shouldn't fail. You shouldn't fail. And because of that, it's allowed for them to now they're going to introduce the traditional clothing and costumes for the X-Men, and I'm here for it. But this shot here, I thought this was a fantastic shot. Like I said, the 2 shots that I enjoyed most so far was when they first introduced Doom and he getting up, finals LeBron, all right, and then this shot here of Cyclops looking around like, whoa, where are all these roaches going? I thought this was a good shot.
Yeah, I think Bryan Singer did an okay job with X-Men, but he did a lot of damage, a lot of negative things, in my personal opinion. The disrespect of Cyclops, I never fucked with that.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's funny when it happened to him saying, you and I, we was like, wait, he's dead?
from the
We said what he's dead.
From the very beginning, they like phased him out, and I thought that was always corny. Shout out to X-Men '97 because the only reason why, let's keep it a buck, the only reason why they're showing a little bit of respect to Cyclops and the source material is only because of X-Men '97.
Yeah, that's
if
it.
X-Men '97 animation never came out, they wouldn't have done shit.
He would have came out in more black leather that you found at Burlington Coat Factory.
And then Gambit look. I'm sorry, but he looked bloated.
Who's that? Is that the Magic Mike guy, right?
Yeah, it looked like a sausage stuffed in a suit.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all because we're gonna get to that part too, Sin. Because Sin knows how I feel about Gambit now. I'm like, come on now, bro. You fucking with one of my favorite characters, right? And it's just like y'all can't just because he wanted to play Gambit don't mean I want to see him play Gambit. Right? So yeah. What's his name again? What was his name again? It slips my mind.
I also agree with you. The Fantastic Four outfits, they finally got that to look interesting though.
Yeah.
They do the costume looks, good. Yeah. At least with that.
Actually, and I like how Thing look. This is the first live action Thing that I like. Because you got to be careful with Thing. Like I told you guys, with Captain America, it's a campy costume. You either get it right or, hey, sister, we coming to the parade. All right? I always say that. It's either going to be dope and fly or, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, thank you, Channing Tatum. Look, I really do not like Channing Tatum as Gambit. I don't care how many times they try to sell me. And the fact that he's in Doomsday Avengers, it's already, as some old school place, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Fox said, why is Pedro Reed? I agree with that, too. Yeah. It takes me out of it. It's not that Pedro's a bad actor. It's just like, it
feels like a miscast.
Why couldn't they cast somebody new? I feel like
they're trying to go with brand recognition with these names.
I think I want Marvel to fail. They need to fail like they have been doing. They need to continue to fail because I just feel that they're lazy. Why does it let's keep it a buck. It's people who really was true to the source material is the reason even why they went to Cyclops the way they did. They could have been did this. They did cheap shortcuts.
True.
Cheap tricks. Then when they see actual real creators bring it back to the source material and make it feel good again, no Halle Berry, when we get to see Storm the way she was supposed to be showcased and Magneto and Cyclops, now all of a sudden they want to try to fix it. I mean, you should have been on this. You know
what, to your point, and I'm going to go to a comment too, by the way, Sin, I think you'll find this funny. Grand says here, Channing Tatum proving that good things come to those who wait. You just have to be ready when your moment come because Tatum been crying about playing Gambit at least for a decade. That is true. And yes, shouts out to Victory Status. All right, shouts out to you. Says, will they introduce the Beyonders or Living Tribunal? I would be very interested in that. I think I would be very interested in that, how that would look on screen. Again, they struggled to pull off Galactus for a long time. So, look, my hopes aren't that high, okay? As far as Gambit, I'm going to be real with y'all. The Gambit situation, shouts out to Grand, too, by the way. It is irritating. And I'm going to tell you something real quick. That's a bad omen when they don't get the Cajun right. I'm going to be real with you, okay? They, for the life of them, two people that they can't get right on screen is Gambit, Remy, and Aurora. All right, and Remy and Storm. They cannot get these two right for nothing.
Also,
go ahead, Sam.
You brought up Kevin Feige's disrespect of Blade. I agree.
Yeah,
he didn't want to make it work.
No, he didn't want to make it work.
He's a liar.
Yeah, they didn't want to make it work.
And then you actually, with Mahershala, you wasted like 5 years of a A+ actor. Remember, he had a hot hand.
Yeah.
From Oscar films to Netflix shows, movies doing well. I think what Feige did is why he's become very unlikable. Also, what you said about the streaming, I agree. They exploited the shit out of Marvel.
Yes.
How you have 100 fucking Marvel shows streaming?
Yeah.
It's almost like money laundering or something. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you got 100 Marvel series that are on there. Most of them nobody's fucking watching. You know, and you know, they did watch
what, Scarlet Witch
the
and
Scarlet
Vision.
Witch.
Yeah,
that's the one that they watched the most. Scarlet
I couldn't make it through
but
Loki. I tried to. I think we watched like 2 or 3 episodes.
But I didn't like nobody want to watch all these Marvel
just to have
shows.
to. Yeah, and that's what I say.
There's a lot of them. It's just too many of them.
And then again, it creates a fatigue. You know, because now when people see the damn logo, they're like, ugh, right? And look, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. Well, I have a theory, but I'm not going to put that out there. But let me see something here.
Guy said, I'll take him over James Gunn. Now, we agree there.
Yeah.
We agree there because, you know, you get at least moments that are good. I'm not really too fond of James Gunn.
Tatum looks like he's wearing a wig.
Dude look like a lace front.
Like, am I wrong?
It looked thick and dry.
Why does his costume look like it's from Party City?
Party City used to be a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm
you
just
know,
saying.
it used to always be next to some swap meet.
Yeah, big lots. Across the street from Golden Corral.
Yeah, Channing Tatum just make it look like a frat boy.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, I'm like, why are we? He does the accent terribly, you know. And I get it that he wants to play Gambit. It's a childhood crush of his, right? But I mean, look, listen, I don't know. Young Thug may have wanted to play Tupac. Don't mean he needs to play Tupac.
But that's what I'm saying. They're letting friendships, you know, get in the way.
Right.
You know, they did, like, for example, they tried 5 times with Logan until they finally got it right with the Logan film.
Yeah.
Yo, well, how do y'all get all this time to keep striking out and then you get one good and we also supposed to all celebrate? You put out like 20 bad films and then you get one right. Yeah,
the only thing I'll say about Wolverine, I think the sequel when he was fighting the samurai when he was in Japan, I became more interested. And then when Logan dropped, I was like, that's clearly the best Wolverine film. And then, like I told you, I was like, okay, I guess we're done here. And they was like, no, he's coming back with Deadpool. I was like, come on, right? So
they said Victory said, should Drake play Gambit?
He probably could pull it off. He could do accents. Yeah, man. Here's another card. Right? That would be funny, though. That is hilarious. Drake is Gambit.
Victory, that's funny.
That's actually pretty damn funny. Yeah, I don't understand Tatum and Gambit, so again,
Austin Butler, yes.
There you go.
Austin Butler he's a really good actor,
and
I think he
would
played,
do the accent much better.
He would have played a better Gambit, absolutely.
That is fantastic. Let me see some here. Let me see. I'm sure some nerd fan put it together. Austin Butler. Let's put this on the screen. Let's see. Austin Butler, because that makes more sense. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Like. Bro, I'm like, y'all can't get Storm right. Y'all can't get Gambit right.
Boy said, when DC had Ben Affleck as Batman, I knew comics were done. Do you bleed?
Yeah, do you bleed? Okay, yeah, Austin Butler, the biggest film he's had was Elvis. He played Elvis. And then he was in Dune recently, too.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job in a lot of films.
I do recall this coming up in the conversation. I thought he was going to be able to play Gambit.
The lucky thing about comics books is because comic books at times can be gimmicky.
Yes.
It gives people a lot of wiggle room to just like, we're going to restart everything.
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what DC did too when they tried to do the universe thing.
Lord have mercy.
And it failed. They're like, reset with Batman again.
I mean, look at Channing Tatum's face. Okay, look at this face here. And then Austin Butler. Like, which one says Gambit to you all? Which one says Remy, right? And then we got to go through the Storm picks, too, because they haven't showed you who's playing Storm.
I'm tired of people hiring their friends.
Lord have mercy, Shane. That is really what's killing a lot of it. It's nepotism. There's a lot of nepotism going on.
I mean, look at Channing. He just he's so bloated as fucking Gambit.
And I think his head is just big naturally.
He's had a big ass head. Do we have?
Because Gambit has a slender face.
Do we have a source material where Gambit's head is that big?
Shit, if he's sick. Yeah, they said Channing bloated as fuck.
Yeah, like this is like, you know.
Yeah,
this is too much.
Yeah, actually, I do recall Austin Butler coming up. His name was floating around as far as Gambit. And at first, I was like, yo, if they get him for Gambit, I definitely will watch that. You know, I think he's a pretty good actor. I think Channing Tatum needs to stay in the comedic, goofy lane.
You know, if Channing Tatum wasn't in that tight suit, he wouldn't look fat. He's actually a guy who stay mostly fit. But
it looks like he's wearing a condom.
But in the Gambit suit, he looked bloated. It's just like the head is big, the hair is dry. It's just not a good look.
The accent is terrible. Tell me what you want to do. Are you ready? Let it go.
It sounds like Van Damme.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Van Damme accent as Gambit?
Man, they keep fucking up one of my favorite characters. But anyway, all right, y'all. But anyway, so I'm gonna get to some more of the steals too. By the way, but no, I actually agree with you all. I think Austin Butler would have been a fantastic choice, but we know that it's not based on that. All right, let's see here. What else we got? You know, but yeah, so they definitely keep pushing that.
Mercury said,
yeah,
Gambit eating Popeye's chicken.
I know, man. Yeah.
You don't know, it would actually be fun to see Channing Tatum as Gambit eating Popeye chicken.
He got to do a SNL skit or a TikTok skit.
He eating Popeye chicken with the biscuits.
Yeah. Oh, these are good, mon ami. Yes, I like these. All right, let's see here. Yeah, in this scene here where they had, looks like Fantastic Four being introduced to the Wakandans. M'Baku is extending his hand to shake the Thing's hand. So I thought that was a decent scene. That wasn't really bad. How do you all feel about the new Mystique?
Well, that's the same Mystique, the original Mystique.
Yeah, about how on screen though her new design, because this will be new to the general public.
I mean, on screen you got to give Rebecca her credit.
Rebecca Romaine Stamos. I think she was the best one so far.
She was a better Mystique than what's the actress?
Jennifer Lawrence.
I didn't like her as Mystique at all.
Yeah,
it's just like, why is Mystique so soggy looking?
Well, that felt like
a crybaby Mystique.
That felt like CW Mystique.
I don't want to wait.
Yeah. Tell us all. Yeah. No. You're right about that.
I didn't like that. Yeah. I was like, why my Mystique is like a crybaby? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I didn't like her as Mystique. She was like all soggy and crying and shit.
Oh yeah, a guy was getting at me one time when I was online, and I sometimes I kind of fuck around with certain people just to see what they say, and he said that Mystique, he says one of the most powerful mutants, and I said, well, her DNA was used to help resuscitate the mutants, but she's an espionage agent, right?
Yes.
So she don't really take on the powers of the people she morph into. Actually, Morph can emulate anybody's power he turns into. She kind of does a lot of decoy shit. That's her style.
Which is why I think Rebecca, because Bryan Singer got some things right and he got a lot of things wrong.
Right, yeah.
But Rebecca as Mystique, she did a great job. Great job, but I didn't like Jennifer Lawrence.
I know I didn't like it
as Mystique. It just all of a sudden Mystique became a crybaby.
The scene it was just too much. But also Jeff says they need to fix that wig. I saw a lot of black women cooking this wig though online. So we'll see where they go with it. But
they are trying to use nostalgia to get people back in. Rebecca as Mystique.
Yeah.
Look, we got Cyclops outfit right. Don't it look dope? Robert Downey Jr. Oh, he's here. Chris Evans.
I know.
I'm like, the fuck?
I know.
It was this like it started to become like a retirement home.
Well, they need to call this one Avengers 97. You see, and then here they go. Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart once again. And y'all laughing at me, but I am really worn out by these two. Like it's old. And I'm not talking about just like being in ages, but I'm just saying there's no new dynamic to their relationship.
Now, the comic book nerd in us,
Yes.
there are moments that might get us to the movie theater.
Yeah.
The Cyclops outfit looked fire as fuck.
Yes.
The moment with Doom and Thor look good, although Thor has been coming off cheap to me.
I know.
I agree. He's been looking cheap.
Bro, y'all can't keep.
I mean, how many times, like even some of the Thor solo films that were not too good.
Right.
But Doom moment in the trailer, Cyclops looked great.
Yeah.
There was moments of things that might make me go to the movie theater, but they're gonna have to do more. They're gonna have to do more than this.
Yeah, because I think right now they're using punchlines, same punchlines to get people in the theater. And Patrick Stewart and McKellen, they're having their little thing where they're like, good friend, we have differing philosophies. You tried to kill the human race, and I tried to protect them. But there's nothing new there. Now, again, I think there are some good shots. Again, I don't think it was overall a terrible trailer. I probably would have had them to recut the trailer, just certain things that just seemed a little redundant. I think they were really trying to showcase, but I'm not going to lie to you all. It kind of don't feel as expansive as you think it would be going after Doom.
Grant said he already bought his ticket.
No, shouts out to him. No, because.
But and Mel says, even if it fails, I still got to see it for myself.
I know, I agree with that. I'll tell you that the saving grace so far with the promise of the potential is that it's Doom. Now, again, I'm going to see if Robert Downey is going to be able to play something sinister. Again, give you something evil and dark. Because Doom is evil and dark. There's nothing. There's nothing like it's not going to be one of those things where he's going to be like a friend of me type stuff. Doom is outright evil and dark. But go ahead, Sin.
Shuri and M'Baku did a good job too. They've been disrespecting the Black Panther angle of things, and I also think Kevin Feige, don't let him get away with the fact that he was getting shaky legs. He was starting to there was moments where it looked like he was about to start listening to to them white guys who don't pay for nothing.
They don't pay for nothing.
It's the same thing with Caitlin Clark, where they were like, they're trying to say we need these people in the fan base. No, you don't. Like what they did with Sweeney.
Yes.
They went at first and bought the jeans, and then they left. You can't make a fan base off of people who don't really want to be there, who are trying to do agendas. If you notice, when you talk about almost every athlete in the WNBA, we talk about basketball, right?
Yes.
When it's Caitlyn, then it's about other things that has nothing to do with basketball. You see this even with comic books.
Right,
like people talking about stuff that has nothing to do with comic books.
Right, yeah.
And you see how Nolan with the Odyssey, even though it's not a comic book, he told them guys to shut the fuck up. He didn't sweat a second of people who sit in a chair all day and don't wipe their ass. They don't wipe their asses. They don't have a life. They live as a parasite through your creativity. And Nolan actually showed everyone what a grown-up is. You don't capitulate to those morons. They don't buy anything.
Yeah, well, again, Petty Gibbs, and I'm going to go back to what Sin said. No, I am going to see if Downey can pull off the ruthlessness, because Doom is a very ruthless character. This is not
hey, buddy, we're friends. No, we're not.
I don't want to hear all of that. I actually want to hear, is he going to take on a different voicing style? What would be his physical approach? How will they be adjusting to him in dialogue as well? Because the key focus is going to be Doom. Side note, look, does it feel like Thor just can't, does it feel like he's like impotent?
Erectile
this is like,
dysfunction.
just can't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. He got erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, because Thor is probably, next to Hulk, is the most powerful Avenger. And it's kind of like, bro, you can't win. It's like you listening to Michael Jackson. Like, bro, have y'all noticed that with Thor? It's like, bro, like when he's supposed to body bag somebody, he just can't get it going. But yeah, no, Sin is right. That's something we talked about. That's why I was opening up at the beginning of the show. A lot of these guys that are online, they're fans of nothing. Like, and I'm saying, like, in general, they don't have any enthusiasm, and it's inherited because remember, they damn near ran that little kid off the planet Earth that played in Phantom Menace. They hated that little boy.
They tried to boycott Barbie. The Barbie broke records and did well. They tried to boycott Odyssey. It did well. They tried to boycott Sinners and it did well.
Yeah.
When I hope fat ass Feige gets the message that nobody cares what these losers have to say online. 90% of the films that they try to boycott do well.
Actually, they're a good indicator. Shoot, man. If they talking about they about to go see a movie, I better go rewrite some shit. All right? Yeah, they said Thor a whole god. They said y'all ain't right. Yeah, listen. Okay. The Village brother says, yeah, they actually nerfed him in the films. Yeah, Thor is a lot more powerful than what they give him. It's just like people stopping him with hush fingers.
CJ said they treating Thor like John Cena.
Yeah, because look at Doom's face. Yeah, I watched you fight Thanos. Yeah, you suck, actually.
Did you ever get to Little Baby and Pharrell?
No, not yet. Actually, I'm going to be getting to that. I was just clipping through some of the parts of this trailer that I actually liked. Again, the scene to me with Thor versus Doomsday here was reminiscent of Thor versus Thanos when he said you should have aimed for the head. You get what I'm saying? So overall, though, I would be interested. Now, here's the thing. The part where I knew Chris Evans was going to show up somewhere in this film. And it looks like, because you guys got to remember, in the previous films, he wasn't able to, he moved Thor's hammer, but he wasn't able to call upon it. This time around, he's actually able to call it to him. All right? So as you guys can see here, they show it, and they're like, yeah, look, Captain America, Steve Rogers is back. Captain Steve Rogers is back with his beard.
Sometimes I do have to remember that this is comic books, though, guys.
Yeah.
And sometimes comic books can be gimmicky.
Of course.
I think we've been spoiled by people who have just done such a great job. Just such a great job.
Like George Clooney.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
No, even when we think about like the writers who took Batman from being a gimmick to being like serious in the comic books.
Yeah.
And then we just think of directors like Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan. You just think of like the amazing comic book movies that we've had. It's made us spoiled where we think now everybody is going to give us a plus comic book film that is like the best of what comic books can be. Like a high level form of artistic expression. And we forget that, there is a gimmicky side of comic books, though.
I would already expect that.
Remember when they had Batman running around with the gun?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. No guns.
Or the series, which was like kind of funkadelic, and with Adam West.
There's people on acid. I want to say this real quick, and then we're going to get into Lil Baby. Shouts out to CJ. CJ said disrespecting Thor again. Yeah, when Captain America took the hammer, Now I will say, and I'm gonna go. This will be going into Word. Word is Bond's point. It says Prince is saying, "Did you notice it wasn't no jokes in the trailer? That's a good thing because usually Marvel makes jokes even in serious situations." I will say, I do believe Captain America is going to break a lot of people's hearts in this film. Even look at his eyes here; they're darker. So I'm thinking they could be leaning into Hydra Captain America, and could there be some Red Skull collaborative actions here? Could he be playing a double agent? Yeah, I know by nature in some of the story arcs, Captain America is in some cases he's a triple agent. So I do notice Chris Evans' character or his energy in this shot here is giving off a lot more of a darker feel here. There's like a smirk there like, hey, buddy, but look at the eyes, though, right? So, I mean, unless he's been asleep all this time, I don't know why he got this brooding energy here, and it doesn't look depressing like Avengers.
Or they build him up to get killed. It's either, like you said,
yeah.
you could go in any direction.
Yeah.
You like the track with Lil Baby and Pharrell?
Yes, yeah, I actually, because this is the end of the trailer here. So, folks, that's it. So, those are our thoughts on the entire trailer. We'll definitely look forward to seeing what's going on. So, I'm not going to want to be one of these pensive assholes online and be like, yeah, it looks like it's just going to suck. Looks like it's going to be a good thing. But yeah, I think the energy is going to be. I think it looks like, you said he's Mystique. That's funny. That could be the case. We'll see. We'll see what the theory is. But yeah, the track with Pharrell and Baby called Dead Fresh, I like the track. I like the track. I like the video even more, actually. And it clearly is a play off of Carlton Banks. They got the girls dressed like Carlton. They doing the Carlton dance. I think it's actually probably the more lighthearted I've seen Lil Baby in a minute. Because he got all this other stuff going on. And
he was trying to figure out how could he transition his music to the Mark Rubin era of his life. I think he finally figured it out. With this track, although it's really interesting because you see Pharrell and Chad, kind of battling it out because Chad is producing Tierra Whack, and music for her, and we're gonna see how that plays out. But it does still feels like Pharrell is missing something, though. I will say, I think the production is better with both of them. But going back to Lil Baby and Pharrell for this particular track, not bad.
Yeah, I think Lil Baby, I think he's definitely one of the brands, if it shows you anything, that social media is not good for all rappers. My personal opinion. I think his career would have been a little bit stronger in a different state if he didn't have to have the engagement with social media. And then sometimes he's tried to respond back to social media, and it just hasn't worked out for him. But I
like on streaming platforms and stuff. I think 99% of rappers have embarrassed themselves and ruined their brands with the streaming stuff. But also, like, if you're going to a white party, just don't have nobody's nuts on your butt, and you should be fine. You have embarrassing photos. Remember, and it's because of, the street aura. You put your aura out as you supposed to be like this, street guy, this tough guy. And then people see, Michael Rubin hugging you from the back. I know it may seem unfair because you can have gay, street guys as well. But it's just not a good look.
I don't know. It's
starting to seem like he's starting to finally recover from it.
I think if Lil Baby understands, like, just don't care.
That also works too.
Because his whole, is there a tough aspect to his brand? Yes. But is he guerrilla street tough in his brand like 50 Cent was? No. Lil Baby's whole shit was, I'm the cool guy with street sensibilities and I get money.
But didn't they say he jumped Offset before?
That's Offset in them two internal quality control shit.
I don't know. They did try to make him at first though seem a bit of a tough Tony.
I don't know.
Like to you said, of course it was money first. I agree with that, but
well, no, I'm saying that was going to come with it anyway because he's a trap rapper. You get what I'm saying? So that's going to be like by default, you know. But I don't think that's what was led first. I think it's the cool shit. When the people saw him laughing and smiling, up until then, nobody even knew what the fuck Lil Baby's teeth looked like. He just was a nigga talking about Southside. He was just rapping and rhyming over beats. And I think the, you know, Michael Rubin, you know, white parties and Michael Rubin himself when he's giving interviews, like the black on black hate, it's kind of like, oh, that's who y'all around, you know. So I think if he gets to a point all the way where he goes back to his nonchalant, I don't care energy, which worked for him for the better part of his career. Y'all got to keep in mind, Lil Baby actually really only got in trouble when he tried to clarify the criticisms that was railed against him at the time. I was like, your brain, you shouldn't do that. You really should just ignore this shit and wait till it passes. People are going to roast you, and they're going to move on, you know. But his engagement with going back and forth with DJ Academics, and DJ Academics is doing his ritual like he did with Meek Mill. That's something Meek Mill didn't understand. Meek Mill kept going back and forth with DJ Academics, and Meek Mill is not a funny guy. He's not a roaster. But
they're stupid. Like, they're thinking that Academics killed their career. No, it's your actions. Like, it's the money hopping thing. It's the throwing a quarter at, you know, them kids in Atlanta. You know, it's like you just did corny thing. It's harassing while they ain't retweeting your album. I think that too many celebrities put too much investment in thinking that people online are the reason why their careers get ruined. Is if you cannot sell whatever your themes are and your brand is, or your brand loses its way, I mean, people are going to lose interest. You know, and some people have, like you said, some people have a tougher exterior where they could take a lot of hits and have people mock them online and still make a lot of money. And
but overall,
still be interested.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. But, you know, just my personal opinion. I like the video. I like the song. I think it's not really a bad song. I think it's a good intro. It's just, you know, one track off the upcoming album that he has. I think Lil Baby, and this is what I was talking to Sin earlier about it. It's kind of like Rick Ross. Rick Ross is older than Cole and Drake and Kendrick. But Rick Ross also injected himself in 2024. So now your brand is binded to that space. Lil Baby also, he's actually in the class with his peers. He's like, I think a little younger than a little younger than Drake and all of them niggas. But, you know, because everybody's doing the pick a side shit, and he said this is the side I stand on, you know, he's kind of tied up in there too. So I was telling her, I said, well, you know, a lot of these guys are going to be struggling to some degree to kind of resuscitate the identity of their brand, except the three guys that had something to prove, you know. But everybody else, that the whole side shit and all this other stuff, a lot of the criticism, whether it's going to be Ross, Future, Lil Baby, some of the criticism, in my opinion, is going to be extra, because even when some of these niggas do put out dope songs, people are not even talking about that music. They're still talking about all of the shrapnel that came from 2024.
Luckily, Atlanta got so many people who know how to make hits that I think Atlanta as a city is going to be fine.
You know,
I mean, I have a new class of people who are bringing a lot of authenticity, and then you got people who've already made a name for themselves who kind of like getting back into the footing of things. And,
so
you know, this is what Lil Baby's getting into.
Yeah, I like the video. I like the song. You know, I'm not really tripping about it. You know, I'll be interested. I think it was filmed very well. I think it was funny for him to have his grandmother in the video dancing. She looked like she's having fun.
Like you said, he looked like he's not caring anymore.
Yeah, just don't care. Who gives a fuck? I mean, the internet is just going to be there anyway. That's why we keep telling people, like, bro, why do you even care? You know, unless you're online every day yourself, like, bro, don't nobody care. They're going to say whatever they say. And, you know, if you address it in the interview, you address it. But a lot of times you put out knocking music or you warm the car, man, people, they go right over there. You know, look at all half them people that went to go see Jay-Z was online talking shit about him too. I don't think people get.
That's what people
humans
gotta
are
comprehend.
fake. Like people are fake, yo. Like
Don't skip past that. No, that is true. Most of the people be online talking shit about people. They do still be listening sometimes to the people they talk shit about.
yeah.
Now he said half the people online talking shit about Jay-Z still went to
the concert.
the Yankee Stadium.
Man, you know I'm about to go see this nigga. Hell yeah, I'm about to go see this nigga. Man, that nigga ain't shit, man. You know, he Illuminati. Right? Come on now, like stop it. You know, but you know, I like I said, I like it. I'll be interested in seeing where he goes with it. You know, also as well with other acts. I will say that's probably one of the more vibrant filmed videos I've seen in rap music in a long time. You know, and I think maybe Eminem. I think he does vibrant videos. Tyler the Creator doesn't really do as many vibrant videos as often. I mean, he does them, but he always kind of has like this dark noir feel that kind of overlays the video. So it's kind of a lot of times it's kind of a little bit darker.
His dance, 80s throwback album was more
vibrant. Yeah, kind of throwing back to LL Cool J's Bad era.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, look, I'm interested. I'll see where else he goes with it. We'll see, but I think outside of that, I don't really have a problem with the video. Yes, hating from the front row is the right kind of hating. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I mean, to be fair, New York City niggas be haters too.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I think they take hate very well. If you notice, they do. Trump, Jay-Z, Nicki, they absorb hate pretty well. Also, Tutu said on since we're on the subject of Atlanta, Dark Crimes, do we pay attention to any of the new YNs? My nephew told me, they got a genre called throwed off music. Have you heard of throwed off music?
I've seen some of it in passing. I haven't had a chance to delve directly into it. Sometimes I've checked it out, but outside of that, I haven't seen anything that really stood out to me. But also, I haven't taken a deep dive into it. I don't really go too far into that. If they happen to be featured on an established artist track, I'll check them out. I'll see what they do, how they provide, or whatever the case is. But usually, you kind of heard it all before. But if they're singing and they're doing their own interpretation of street music, that's fine. I'll still check some of it out. But some of them just be kind of screeching after a while. I actually think NBA YoungBoy and what's the other nigga?
Doughboy?
No, not Doughboy.
I thought you were talking about beefs. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's NBA YoungBoy and Playboy Cardi. When they get into that Skrillex screeching shit, like I check out. Like there's some NBA YoungBoy records where he's using a very more of his heady voice. It's just like he's just it's just normal talking voice. I don't think the records are bad, but when he was like, but he does that, like, all right, I'm out. I got it. I got you, G. Edward Scissorhands. I get it, nigga. Right? Like, I'm all right. Him and Playboy Cardi, they do the same thing, so. But yeah, that screeching shit, it's all right. Also, side note for folks, just to let y'all know, the widow of Malcolm Jamal Warner is suing his mother to recover at least $1.2 million from the family trust, claiming he failed to honor their prenuptial arrangement. So,
wow, that's sad,
Yeah, great actor, talented jazz musician too, by the way. So, just an update on that.
He was definitely a very talented man, very poised as well. Did you also get into Ronaldo? With FIFA cheated for Argentina?
No, not yet. That's actually what I was going to cap off on Cristiano Ronaldo. And also, they did a round of firing, speaking of sports, with ESPN with Ryan Clark. So, they dismissed him as a sports pundit, which wouldn't be the first time. They go through a round and they start cutting a lot of guys. Also, you're probably going to see Stephen A. Smith's salary cap increase too. So whenever they do that, you're going to see that happen too.
So Ronaldo a couple of days ago was on Instagram and he liked a post where the post was claiming FIFA cheated or tried to cheat for Argentina to win the World Cup, but it failed. And Ronaldo is not the only one, though. He's not the one who actually started these rumors. These allegations have been started during the different teams duking it out, even before you get to Spain versus Argentina. There have been a lot of people online, and of course it's because it's online doesn't make it true, but there are a lot of people on and offline who feel that a lot of the refereeing was biased and tilted in Argentina's favor. And Ronaldo, personally felt that was the case as well. He's not the only one, though. There are, some other people who are trying to hint to that as well. What's your thoughts? Also, we have the articles on the Patreon if you want to check it out. Go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, well, okay, well, you guys got to keep in mind, if you're not familiar with the history of Messi and Ronaldo, especially going back to their contentious rivalry in Spain, Messi, there's a joke about Lionel Messi. He's known as the FIFA princess. Okay? Falls on the ground like Caitlin Clark. He looks up at the refs all the time for a yellow card. Even as of recently, people speculated with, him and Ronaldo's duel recently that the refs played in favor of, quote unquote, the FIFA princess to advance, Messi to the World Cup. And it's one of the reasons why they didn't play that well, because a lot of people are saying, well, they didn't deserve to be there anyway.
They say they were playing pretty bad, and they still kept advancing.
Yeah, and look.
And also how the Argentina team conducted themselves after they lost was horrible.
Well, my honest opinion, as popular as Messi is, and I do check into Messi for other things, dealing with some of the stuff he does outside of football and some of the cultural items that he curates and things of that nature. My honest opinion, I think Ronaldo, I've always kind of felt over the years he was a more explosive player. The scissor kicks, the hat tricks that he does. I think Messi is an immense talent, but from the very beginning, FIFA kind of always played with Ronaldo's name. They didn't acknowledge him. They had public humiliation rituals, they gave him the wrong trophy. I think when he got like a Player of the Year type award, and they had him to intentionally switch with Messi on stage, and it was like a very humiliating moment. And then one of the little FIFA presidents was kind of mocking him. They was like, well, who are you going to choose between Messi and Ronaldo? And he said, well, Messi's kind of like the good boy. And he was like, Ronaldo's like the commander on the field, and he's very stiff. And so he got up and he started mocking Ronaldo, and everybody was making fun of him. And
now it's interesting because now everybody's making fun of Messi now.
Yeah, because it's kind of been a long-standing complaint against Messi. They used it, the energy for marketing, and
they were also trying to have him be the new icon for football over Pele.
Messi, whether people like him or not, he is a sports icon. He's already that. I think they wanted to give him this cup. To remember, this ties into what's been going on with all of these things. A lot of times are arranged, and if you think I'm lying, all you got to do is track Ronaldo's career, because he's kind of been on the butt end of the favoritism towards Messi, even though he set records that Messi has not been able to set.
Yeah, they both have their own wins that the other one hasn't been able to accomplish, but that is true with Ronaldo. But I also was talking about, yes, all three. First of all, Ronaldo and Messi are legends and icons for football. But what I was saying about Pele is that he is considered like what people consider boxing for Muhammad Ali, right?
Oh yeah,
for football.
Well, Messi ain't speaking on none of that shit.
And
that's for sure.
They said that if he won this World Cup, that they were going to put him ahead of him. And and everybody's online saying nobody will ever be as good as Pele.
First of all, he's because you're playing for Argentina. Y'all gotta understand in Latin America, like I can't even tell you. Like, I mean, if you know your world history, like they have a horrible history. Like there are people they would if Argentina was a trap house, there would be other Spanish countries pulling drive-bys on them every day. and they're not. And again, Spain has a horrible history. All right, but just in this particular situation here, even the FIFA Cup, even not FIFA Cup, even the FIFA president, you know, he did sign a Palestinian flag to show everybody, like, I don't have no issues, right?
Yeah, I think they see with Spain there's growth, and with Argentina, they what people are saying, because you never know unless you actually go visit that country, but they're saying that Argentina doesn't have any growth. You committed genocide to black people in Argentina, and then your leaders are co-signing another genocide with the people of Gaza. So they're like, y'all just don't change, because they've always tried to, in South America, make it seem as if Argentina was better than every other South American country because they're more European.
So yes, with Messi, look, I'm gonna be honest with you all. There actually at the beginning of both of their careers, I paid more attention to soccer, world soccer.
Which is for them football.
Yeah.
You know, only Americans call it soccer.
But once I saw them that they were like going to make Messi that guy, and there were other prominent players as well, and you know, including Ronaldo, and then I saw what would be classified as like their SPs. I kind of saw how they was even playing certain other players in favor of Messi. I didn't think I would want to be interested in seeing it on the world stage. I'm not going to lie to you all.
But
and
you know,
even when Messi won his first World Cup in 2022, remember, people said that game was rigged in Messi's favor as well, and they were saying they was trying to set him up this time around for it to be rigged in his favor, because he only has one World Cup, and Pele is the only international football player that has 3 World Cups.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how if he would have won this one, he would have been better than Pele. Like, you know, but also
Caitlin's the face of the league.
with FIFA, you know, people also shouldn't only focus on the alleged corruption of FIFA in Argentina. Like, people forget with FIFA, they've been a lot of accusations of human rights violations. I do want people to remember the little guy and not just the pageantry part of it, although I don't believe people should cheat for any type of team or player, because people, when it comes to athletes, I never respect cheating, because people put their bodies on the line. You should let it happen organically. You know, like even when people talk about Caitlin's the face of the league without talking about basketball stuff, with sports it don't work like that way. It's not subjective like music. And even with certain things with music, you could see when people have a higher skill set, whether we're talking about Nina Simone and playing the piano and so on and so forth. But in sports, is a clear indicators when someone is the face of a particular league based off of their work and how much they've won. And then going back to this situation, you know, we'll see what happens, you know. But I do, you know, feel like people forget that there have been allegations of FIFA allowing women to be sexually assaulted, and people getting away with it. There's been allegations of human rights violations. You know, FIFA has had a bad rap for a while now, you know. So, you know, they usually always have some type of controversy. Let's just put it that way. Something always going on. What's your final thoughts on this, Prince?
Well, I think, you know, I just think it is just going to be one of those asterisks that's going to be, you know, over Messi's career. You know, and also I think wherever Peter Thiel hangs out, whatever country he hangs out in, I think it's just bad luck, too, by the way. And it is what it is. The people have seen how like the Argentinians. I have seen people online. I've seen them in different chats, and they were upset that people were calling the country racist. I was like, there was eugenics. Like, I mean, indigenous people were eviscerated, especially, doubling down like when Nazis moved there as well. And they got to experiment on the locals. And so, I don't know if people are tight about that.
No, that's a great point. That's what people got to focus on. True.
Yeah. And just to say, look how they treated ISO Speed. They were calling him the N-words, chanting and calling him monkeys and stuff, throwing banana peels at him and stuff. So
no, it's moved beyond Ronaldo, because if Ronaldo was crying by himself, people would just have ignored it. You got the pro-Palestinian people on Argentinians' asses as well, because they're saying that they're cheaters. So it's because you're seeing certain movements cook Argentina this time around as well.
Six Heart, you would have to know about Argentina's history. This is not like this World Cup, FIFA. This is just not the entirety of why Latin America feels the way they feel, and even on a global scale, Argentina does have a brutal history, and I do find online, even some of us are speaking a lot of times ignorant of the history. So people are like, man, what's up? Look, the flag is pretty, but you gotta know what's behind that flag. Yeah, there's some nice cultural moments and things like that, but all countries have their dark histories, and Argentina does have theirs. And their people, look, you can go online and go account for the darker complected Argentinians that said what their experiences were like, or quote unquote black people from all different parts of the world that said when they visited Argentina, what levels of racism they ran into there. It's the reason why Peter Thiel said he wanted to leave America and he wanted to incubate himself in Argentina's culture. The president of Argentina is a quack with a wig on.
Matt also brought up a good point. He said, what about also how, he was treated in Morocco and Algeria as well. Yeah, I mean, there's not only one, place where black people experience hate and racism. But just for people to know, the controversy did not start with Ronaldo. The controversy started with the pro-Palestinian people claiming that Argentina tried to cheat through FIFA. And then you could, I guess, say that Ronaldo jumped on it himself and liked to comment on Instagram talking about FIFA cheating in favor of Argentina. We know Messi and Ronaldo have had a long-standing rivalry. Ronaldo feels like he's more decorated, so in his mind he says, I'm better than Messi. And then there's other people who feel like Messi is better than him. But going back to it, this is blowing up more so because of
people gotta
Palestinian, advocates are saying that.
Well, also just for people to understand, so you can continue on, Ronaldo is going to be talking because, or at least he liked the comment because you gotta remember this year, he felt like he was eliminated because FIFA was cheating in favor of Argentina. I want people to understand that. So that's why he's liking the comment. He's like, hey, look, it's corrupt. And remember now, FIFA has had scandals like 2015 with the whole money laundering situation, billions of dollars being moved around. Like, at the end of the day, the FIFA president, even though they would prefer Messi to have won, at the end of the day, you guys got to understand, they made billions of dollars. So they'll just, whatever they got to go for the next go round, that's what they're going to be doing. But Ronaldo didn't just pop out of nowhere. Y'all got to remember his elimination was actually controversial because people felt like there go the refs with their bitch-ass yellow cards doing that shit again in favor of the quote-unquote FIFA princess. And that's just what it is. I'm not trying to be funny. Sin and I, we're not the ones that came up with this. This has really been following Messi around for probably the better part of his career.
Yeah, but it's still the scandal still started with the Palestinian protesters and advocates. That's where the whole FIFA is cheating came from, because people felt like Argentina is the spoiled baby for Israel and Netanyahu and Bibi. Ronaldo came later just so people can know the timeline of what happened. So the pro-Palestinian people were claiming that FIFA was cheating for Argentina and showing favoritism not only because of Messi but also because the relationship Argentina leaders have with Israel. So that came first, and then weeks of that sizzling and bubbling up. 2 days later, 2 days ago, Ronaldo liked a post on Instagram agreeing with FIFA, or seemingly agreeing with FIFA cheating. So people don't get the timeline wrong. It doesn't come with Ronaldo first. It comes with the pro-Palestinian people first, and then Ronaldo last.
Also, another thing. So let's go back to just even before all of this stuff blew up, so y'all can understand what goes on with like the history of FIFA. So I'm gonna give you guys an example of 2015. Now, 2015, you guys know, Swiss authorities had arrested top FIFA executives. I don't know if you guys recall, this made international headlines. Some of you all probably saw it and be like, whatever, I don't know these people. But let me tell you what happened. So they arrested FIFA executives at a hotel in Zurich following a multi-year investigation by the DOJ. Over 50 individuals and corporate defendants across 20 countries were indicted. Prosecutors revealed that over 2 decades, soccer officials and sports marketing executives had treated FIFA as a corrupt enterprise. The bribes were primarily linked to commercialization of media rights for tournaments in the Americas. Now, remember what was talked about in those Epstein emails, right? Oh, man, we sure glad that, the shit ain't looking like it's looking in reels. So the FIFA scandal is all encompassing. So it's going to be financial corruption, political corruption, too, by the way, because, again, there will be a favoritism towards Israel as well because they have their hands damn near in everything.
And also, CJ, correct, of course, Ronaldo wasn't eliminated because of Argentina. They were just claiming that Argentina had an easier schedule. This is before we get to Ronaldo's complaints. And then people were just claiming, the pro-Palestinians, people were claiming that they felt Argentina was getting favoritism because of their relationship, their leader's relationship to Netanyahu. So those are the things that were brewing before Ronaldo came out complaining. Yes, Ronaldo does have a history to some people of being a crybaby and of always complaining about referees and also about FIFA when he doesn't get his way. But at the same time, also what Prince is saying, people have always been complaining about the corruption of FIFA as well, even beyond just Argentina.
Or even beyond just simply complaining, there's been open investigations. So I don't, like, for me personally, it's kind of like what I told you guys about how I felt about Deontay Wilder's accusations against Tyson Fury, even though Tyson Fury was a remarkable boxer. I did take his allegations serious until he renegotiated the second bout. Because I feel like, well, if you say that this guy is a cheater and then there is a dark criminal ring that is rigging a sport against you, why would you agree to go in there and get knocked out again? The only reason why I said there could be credible complaints there because boxing is a dirty sport. There is a history of fixers injuring, crippling, maiming, and in some cases setting boxers up to get killed. So at the time, and there have been investigations in boxing tied to mafias. So I was like, we had to see what's going on. But when he was like, I'm going to take the money again, I said, all right, nigga.
I mean, looking at the games, Ronaldo was going to be eliminated anyway.
So
and he wasn't playing to the best of his standard. And Argentina, damn sure, is a miracle that they got that far because they weren't playing that good themselves too.
Well, again,
so that's why people was like, and then how they acted at when Spain won, their behavior was like very thuggish and entitled.
Yeah, Mel says perfect comparison, Prince. It's the same thing. Yeah, look, my thing is this. If there's been a history of open investigations and corruption in your sport, and a player comes forward, I don't care who it is, right? And they say, hey, look, there's something going on. Because remember now, the NBA does a great job of branding and rebranding their history, but people forget in the early 90s and the mid 90s, there were a lot of illegal gambling rings that involved referees and star athletes that were being exposed, and they were under investigation.
Oh yeah, they were trying,
and a lot of RICO charges in the back.
A lot of people did put money on Argentina. A lot of people lost money on Argentina, and
it's a good side to be on the other side of that payout, though. Shit, I definitely would have put my money on Spain. Oh man, people investing $10 million. Man, I'm going the other way. But so Ronaldo, Messi really cries. They all listen. Any type of marquee athlete or star player, they're going to be crybabies because they're in a privileged position. LeBron cried all day about not getting texts, not getting this, that, and the third. You've seen it with Caitlin Clark. You've seen it in tennis, all right? You've seen it with John McEnroe. So to me, that's nothing new. I do know, though, for a fact, because Messi was the quote-unquote face of the league, yes, a lot of times I always saw him on the ground looking up for a yellow flag or yellow card.
He does his own form of flopping.
Right. There you go. He got mud in his hair.
That's what he was doing a lot versus Spain.
Right.
Versus
and so
Barcelona, and it was pretty funny.
No, she's right about that. And also real quick.
Come on. I said, Messi, get your old ass off the fucking field. Get up, nigga.
Yeah, and also remember there was Deflategate, and remember Tom Brady sued the NFL.
Yeah. He actually stopped fucking with Obama because of that.
Hey, I'm suing the NFL. Y'all ain't gonna put that on me, right? So, hosting rights and bribery allegations. This is another one. Beyond marketing contracts and bribing processes for the World Cup were heavily comprised. Investigators heightened massive vote trading schemes, with FIFA officials accepting financial inducements, in exchange for awarding the 2018 and 2022 World Cup hosting rights to Russia and Qatar, respectively. Former President Sepp Blatter and numerous executive committee members were subsequently banned from all soccer-related activities.
And don't get me wrong, I'm a casual watcher of football. I'm not a diehard. I'm a casual watcher, but from the very beginning, I've always heard bad things about FIFA.
And I'm going to read this last part here for you guys so y'all can understand the entire context. That would also include Israel and Palestine, because as you guys can see, it's all intermingled politically. In fact, I would argue that the politics drive the direction of FIFA too, by the way. So it says, while FIFA has made organizational changes and claims to direct revenues back into developing the sport, recent controversies, including high-profile investigations and political interference, have kept corruption at the forefront of public discussion. Critics argue that the hyper-commercialization of the tournament continue to prioritize massive financial windfalls for leadership at the expense of transparency. Remember, FIFA is the biggest world generating sport. Like billions of dollars just in that short time span is made. So, of course, there's going to be lining of the pockets and all this other stuff. Remember, what did the Argentinian president say? Even before the matches began between Spain and Argentina, what did he say? We already have the parade and everything laid out.
Well, he didn't even cancel his scheduled tweet. I do think I'm gonna just go. I have no evidence, so I'm just going just based off of intuition. I don't have no evidence, so I want to make that clear because we let you know when we know something's 100% facts. But the way people were acting with Argentina, it was like they thought Argentina 100% had it in the bag.
Yeah.
It was like Argentina was supposed to win. And I always find that a bit interesting when that energy is around anything.
Yeah. And to the point, Sam, you got to keep in mind Yamal did a great job. Him and his team from Spain, they did a fantastic job. But also Messi and even Ronaldo, they're like LeBron James right now. They're at the end of their careers. This is 2 decades. These guys have been in the game, So whatever little bit of lift they were allegedly giving Messi, his old ass wasn't able to get over the hill.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a casual,
Just say that to y'all.
But Pele, what I've watched and seen from him, his legacy was just astonishing, and they were trying to put Messi over him, and I was like, you haven't earned that type of stripes.
I mean, even in the,
but it was interesting because people don't understand. It goes back to what people feel the corruption is. Pele, represented Brazil with honor, and he revolutionized a lot of things when it came to the sport of football. And then Argentina. Remember, there's always was like a joke that Brazil got the blacks. They don't know how to genocide, get rid of the blacks. They have a black problem, a Negro problem, and they say Argentina is better. They figured out how to kill black people. They figured out the genocide, how to do it the right way, and that has always been an insider joke about Brazil and Argentina. So I think people just are overlooking the history of why people look at Argentina with a side eye, and even their team.
My personal experience is, people that may like partake in, some of the Argentinian, local drinking culture, not only talk about like, alcohol, but also, teas and, outside of teas, herbs like yerba. If I usually see people like, they're like, oh, I just like some of the food aesthetics. I want to visit some landmarks, some historical landmarks. I want to know more about history. Usually when I see people that are anti-Brazil and pro-Argentinian, my personal experience growing up that I've ran into, they typically were racist. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to miss any words about it. I don't be polite about racism because racism isn't polite. I know people like to well, I don't want to quite, no, you can see when somebody's clearly racist, right, whether if they come from another country or not, it's the same thing.
Because Pele is the GOAT of football.
Yeah, that's
what he's the GOAT of football. And in the 20th century, he was named the most popular athlete of all time.
Yeah.
So he's more of an icon even than Messi.
Yes.
Now, Messi had the opportunity that was given to him to try to eclipse that, but he didn't. And you saw a lot of the Brazilians were online celebrating, say ha ha ha. They were saying,
sit your ass down.
They say ha ha ha. You'll never be better than Pele, and he'll always be the face of football, and he is the GOAT.
Pele. For instance, I've had a lot of experiences with people from this sector of the world, and I've had firsthand experiences with people that were pro-Argentinian, but I'll hear if they're anti-Brazilian, they're usually anti-black. It's because, Brazil does host the largest black population outside of Africa, and it's just what it is. I mean, it's not, to me, it's not all that mystical to figure out. I do see some Nazi conservatives jumping online trying to inject themselves in the conversation. As usual, they don't know what they're talking about. They just want to. Are we talking about black people? We talking about black people locally, or are we talking about black people globally? Either way, I'm coming in and I'm gonna speak against black people. So it is what it is. But yeah, Messi definitely wasn't going to be touching Pele's legacy. So that's not going to happen in this lifetime or next. No matter how many times he cries on the ground like a Disney princess. And I think he's a fantastic athlete. But outside of that, for what they were trying to build him in is like a reverse Pele, pro-Argentinian with a Nazi-supported president.
He was supposed to be the white Pele. And also, yes, Memento, technically, if you consider the global world, Pele would be over Michael Jordan in popularity.
Oh, yeah. No, like you can... I've ran into Europeans, and they'll have a conversation with you about how excited they were when they witnessed Pele. In fact, if I recall, he passed away not too long ago. So there are people that are walking around that had a chance to witness his incredible reign in person, as an athlete, and then also as an ambassador for human rights. You get what I'm saying? So, and again, for especially where Argentina is right now, the president is not even trying to. He's not even trying to step away from the legacy. In some situations, you've had leaders come into power within countries, and they say, look, we want to get away from the history of this anti-human rights that has been a part of our legacy. We want to move to a pro-human rights for everybody legacy. This guy coming in here with this Three Stooges wig, he don't care. Y'all seen that president of Argentina? That man looked crazy.
He looked like a crackhead. Also, CJ said he doesn't feel that halftime shows belong in football. I actually agree with you. I feel it was just slowing down the energy. I don't think it's needed for that particular sport. Halftime. I know some people in America don't even like the halftime show in American football, just to let everybody be clear to know. But we do have some amazing, legendary halftime performances, though, that most people have enjoyed. But in football, the original football, I don't see the point of it either. I just don't feel like it added to anything, I mean, it's good. It's a good look for the artists because, they have billions of people who get a chance to listen to their music, and you're starting to see a lot more American artists become more interested in football. And I think one of the reasons why is also because of the investment possibilities. There's a lot of money to be made with the World Cup. But I to your point, CJ, I didn't feel like performances added to anything. I don't think it was needed as well.
Well, you know what? As we kind of winding down here, my assertion on that, I think Future wasn't the right template for that particular venue.
You think any of them were?
I think Shakira does great. I think she does very well. I think it's very interesting. I just think, and they also had back in the day with what's our boy's name? K9. He did a good job with his World Cup song. I thought that was pretty good.
No, I mean, he's not talking about just a World Cup song. He's talking about them placing all these performances everywhere. And he said he personally don't like it. Like they trying to take the format of American football with the halftime show and have it be curated when it comes to original football, global football. And I did look at, so it did look like it was slowing it down. Like, well, I think again, not a song for the World Cup, but actually having all these different performances. And I don't think like Future and none of them were bad. It just looked like they were trying to stuff so many things, into it.
Well, I think this is a good lesson for Americans if they put it together. You are very influential publicly, especially Black Americans. I don't think people. I think sometimes we listen to too many lame industry niggas that they try to make you or us feel insecure about our effect on the world because some weirdo with a bad toupee is telling them what to do with the money that they're going to give them. But if you're talking about globally, especially Black American culture is very popular globally. So what's happening right now is that you're seeing the FIFA president. This has been a pact that's been going on for a moment about. They've been intentionally since Mia Hamm been trying to really market international football and make it popular in the West, specifically America, because if you can get that American United States co-signature, it's definitely more money in the process. So that's why you're seeing them trying this. Now, again, to you all's point, I don't think it's been the most perfect, but it's the first tryout runs until they get a chance to master. Now you could tell that their campaign since Mia Hamm has been working because for this time around, This is actually the most I've seen Americans directly talk about football.
Well, they were also saying like it's no one cares about that's good. They want Americans' involvement. They're just saying all the halftime shows is a distraction.
How many halftime shows did they have?
They had a lot of performances. That was distracting, and it wasn't because like people could just ask. It's just I think they should try the format a little bit different.
I can see that. Let me see something here.
CJ said it was very Americanized. Football fans are more concerned about the actual game. That's the entertainment for us. All that extra stuff is just a waste. We genuinely do not care. And I saw the energy of a lot of the people. They really didn't care.
I see what y'all talking about.
They had it was too many. Like having a World Cup song is fine.
Yeah.
But
because I do be fucking with the World Cup songs when they come out. Like, usually when K9 and Shakira cooking them up.
In United States culture, in our culture, people, even if they don't like American football, they'll go watch the halftime show. Even though in the United States, though, some of the diehard football fans hate the halftime show, and they just want to see the game.
Well, you know what that is, though.
Going into global football, a lot of the football fans don't care about people performing no fucking songs.
Well, I think this will be the back end of, like, I'm going to be real with y'all. It's kind of high-key the Jay-Z-fication of the NFL halftime show.
Why you blaming Jay-Z? Oh, shit! Yo, they gonna say Prince always try to blame Jay-Z and Rock Nation. What the fuck they got to do with this?
I'm gonna tell you
Come
this.
on, everybody who was performing didn't have a Rock Nation connect, did they?
No, I don't think it's about having. It's not even about fucking Rock Nation. Y'all know I do not have that stupid conversation.
What do you mean by the Jay-Z-fication of football?
This is what I say. I keep telling you guys, black energy is very popular. Black American energy, right? So when Jay-Z was able to, with his energy and all of his tears.
Why the fuck you just threw Jay-Z in there? Prince, I didn't even know.
See, you will keep talking. Let me finish. You just mumbling. Why inside I have my... I love you, though. But let me just tell you what I mean.
What is this about? Go ahead.
Up until then, outside of Michael Jackson... NFL halftime shows was trash. They really were trash. And remember, that's why In Living Color was whooping their ass back in the day, right? Jay-Z and Rock Nation they re-engineered what a halftime show is supposed to feel like. I'm not even comparing nothing they did because we know Michael Jackson put his stamp on that. But ever since then, they look, the NFL halftime shows have been ass. Like, go back in the day, as dope as a group as Destiny's Child was, their halftime performance wasn't good. And it wasn't, the NFL didn't even give a fuck about them girls being on stage. Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and the entertainment industrial complex, especially going off of hip-hop, they made it a focus to make these themes be the case. Even pregnant Rihanna on stage was a better look than anything they had. Kendrick Lamar set the shit ablaze with 300+ million viewers. FIFA president, all of these people run in the same spaces. I want you to understand, all these corporate heads work in the same space. They may be over different organizations, but when they see what's going on with something like the NFL, they're thinking like, oh, well, we can apply that to what we're doing with FIFA, because that's when the FIFA president, what was he saying? Well, what do you think about Kendrick Lamar at the halftime show? And then what were they saying? Well, there's a possibility Drake was, I know everybody clowning Maul because Drake didn't perform, but the FIFA president said it himself. He was flirting with the idea of having Drake at the...
was trying to push him to perform, but it looked like Drake didn't want to.
Right, and so...
He just was chilling.
So what I'm saying, I know what y'all say. I don't have no Rock Nation derangement syndrome. I don't care about Rock Nation like that. Sin and I don't care about Rock Nation. We genuinely don't care. But what I am saying, ever since Rock Nation took place, and remember the Colin Kaepernick protest was a global protest with Black Lives Matter. So when Jay-Z's situation became a news, that's marketing too. So when the shows were successful, other organizations with different ball clubs and different genres of sports they noticed, and then they were like, okay. And remember, when they set the trend, that's when you start seeing Madonna at the FIFA Cups. That's even just last time. This is the most you've ever seen rappers at the fucking FIFA Cup. That's what I'm talking about. So that's why I said that.
CJ's comment.
What is CJ's comment saying?
At the bottom, read it.
How you gonna tell me to find the comment? All right, it says here, Todd Bowley, owner of Chelsea Football Club, recently went into business with Rock Nation. They also manage a few football players for Rock Nation, so I get it. Yeah, that's my point. Like, I clearly saw, because look, I've seen most of, I think, since I want to say 2008. At the very least, I peeked in if I hadn't watched all of them. But I've seen most of where the World Cup stages were heading, and they've never had this level of celebrity, let alone relevant celebrity, that we saw. They kept zooming in on Travis Scott, Pharrell. Now you guys see what I'm talking about, because all of these guys also have kind of like loose affiliations to Jay-Z. You saw Drake there. But, I mean, there's not really a bunch of guys coming in from Canada that's going to be sitting there at the FIFA Cup, right? I mean, what, you going to get top 5? He going to be on
I mean, but Canada, remember, the U.S. is now getting into the football market more and more and more. Remember, Canada already was there.
Yes.
Every other country already fucks with the whole football as a sport.
Yeah, so
that's why Drake was one of the early energies over there.
Exactly. So that's what my point was, is that, ever since then, I clearly see where and then again, this ties into those emails Sin and I reread, that they were already having conversations about elevating the sport in itself, and also trying to get more of an American demo, getting Americans on board as consumers of your entertainment or your sports brand. That's a big, big deal. It's probably the biggest deal. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's why you saw like Madonna doing a halftime show. I didn't even know she did one.
Man said, great point. Every match they kept pointing to celebrities and fans were shouting at the screen wanting to see the game.
Yeah, I did see that. I've never seen that before. That's one thing I noticed. I'm like, bro, why is Pharrell's head on the screen again?
Well, they thought it was A$AP Rocky.
That should tell you, Sin. They thought Pharrell was A$AP Rocky. They ain't even the same skin complexion, not the same skin tone,
not even close,
not the same haircut, nothing.
Although Prince don't believe that Pharrell is light skinned. I said he is.
No, Sin didn't believe Megan Thee Stallion was light skinned.
No, don't try to switch it. Did you not say that Pharrell was not light skinned? Yes or no? Don't pivot.
No, Sin didn't believe.
Answer the question. Did you say Pharrell wasn't light skinned? Answer the question.
Well, I'm gonna go back to my point here.
Okay, there we go.
My point has been made. So, chat, think tank, and Sin, do you agree with my point now? Come on, black woman.
I don't know what you mean by that. What agree with what point?
You said, why did you bring up Jay-Z and Rock Nation? Now did you see when I made my web?
I was fucking with you.
All right.
You already know how we do this. Why are you acting brand new?
I'm not acting brand new. You acting like you didn't say Meg Thee Stallion was in light skin.
Don't switch it up. No, you said Pharrell was not light skin. That's what you said.
They the same color.
So then
you
why?
You being a genderist.
Please. He said if you say you light skin and you and Pharrell are the same complexion, how is Pharrell not light skin?
How was Megan not light skinned? That's what I was trying to get with you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You said Megan is not light skinned.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, no, you guys are right. There were a lot of fans. They were angry every time they put a celebrity on screen. But yeah, I think they're going to try to make the same way they was able to do the halftime show for the NFL. I believe they're going to be looking to do that on a global scale, a global stage with FIFA. And I'm sure you're probably going to see some artists, perform there. But yeah, apparently Madonna had a halftime show. Shakira usually does what she does all the time. They even got like Shakira clones on stage that do it for her. There was a couple other people, but I did see a lot of the sports fans get angry. All right.
Well, they would. I mean, a lot of the people it's supposed to be. I think going to Saudi Arabia next time or Dubai or something like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people is just tired of even Trump when he was trying to just be in the forefront of taking the photo.
That was funny.
You know, it's too much of the ego of the dark side of American culture.
Yes.
You know, everybody knows there's things they like and dislike about every fucking culture around the world.
Right.
With the United States, it's that whole
Celebrity.
ego of people always wanting to see you. Not everybody always want to see you.
That is true.
And a lot of American celebrities think that everybody wants to see them everywhere, and that's not the case.
Some of them find out that people don't know who they are. And no, that is funny. And then Americans, y'all got to understand, like, Americans literally will be the only people that'll touch down in someone else's country and call them foreigners.
Also, man is correct. Spain, Morocco, and our co-hosting next time around.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are interested, on the screen, look, Mr. Z. Again, clothing apparel. Mr. Z is letting you guys know you guys are hypocrites. Okay? He's back outside. Again, this is Mr. Z. All right? He has nothing to do with the other guy. All right? Mr. Z comes outside and he gets everybody in line with his pound cake freestyles. Okay? So put some respect on Mr. Z's name. Okay? I want y'all to understand that. You can always pick up a hoodie with Mr. Z to remind yourself, are you morally aligned or are you a hypocrite?
Don't get Zaza on you.
Okay. All right.
Actionable items. Don't skip past that.
Okay. So, again, I'm going to provide the link for you all. At least I'll put the Patreon link in the chat for you all. And you can get your own Mr. Z hoodie, cap, mug, and things of that nature. All right. So, again, so you can stay on the right side of justice morally, okay? All right, the minute you guys start having fun with hip-hop and rap, Mr. Z will be there on your shirt to remind you,
bring it down. Don't get cocky.
All right? You said I'm buying the pawn shop hoodie. Yeah, Mr. Z, right there at the pawn shop.
I don't think Dame Dash will get along with Prince.
Who? Oh, Dame Dash?
Yeah. I don't think they would get along like that.
Nah, I'm not. I'm not interested in meeting any of the folks.
True says I'm buying the pawn shop hoodie.
Yeah.
It's out.
It's out. Okay.
Mr. Z is out right now.
Mr. Z is not playing no games. All right. If you're going to be corrupt, make sure you're consistent. Mr. Z will be there to highlight that. Mr. Z and the Z Nation. Throw your Z's in the air. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
People who are like too egotistical,
yes,
usually we're not going to get along with them.
Oh, yeah. No, Cindy is right about that. It's either going to be her or me.
Even if they're egotistical, broke or rich, it ain't going to work out.
It ain't going to work, man. All right. Y'all see how tight it is. Well, that's what's wrong with rap music right now. It's way too egotistical. All right. If people don't even want to laugh, all right, they don't want to have fun. They kind of want to just be bullies. They want to laugh at the expense of others.
I agree. Yeah. But a great breakdown, Prince, on Mr. Z, and also great breakdown on on football and Rock Nation. Also, CJ, great commentary for introducing it to the conversation. Great job, everybody in the chat. Also, Dom says the main FIFA will be hosted in Morocco and also in Portugal and Spain. And let me see. Yes, to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the World Cup.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're going to see what type of Illuminati ritual they're going to have around that time, too. All right, got to get this thing going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue on, and if we have any more updates, we'll continue to do some trailer reviews as well for you folks. I know you guys were asking questions about it, so The Doomsday joint, looks decent. We'll see where they go. They just have to execute everything. Got all of the promising pieces there and some of the original ones that people are kind of tired of. But you guys can make anything work because we invented the remix.
Well,
all right?
It's going to be interesting to see what football fans around the world have to continue to say because, I did see a lot of them get irritated with all the celebrity halftime shows.
It was a little bit daunting. I think they had the clip of Jay-Z, Beyonce. They had Pharrell. I don't know. It kind of felt like a basketball or a football game in America, though. So I don't know how far they're going to go with that. And some of these people, they kind of like, I don't care. I don't really care like that. Remember, our number one export besides weapons, our number one export is actually entertainment. So that kind of tells you that on that note. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cap it off here. Love you guys so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your morning. Folks, you can catch us again tomorrow at 8:15. We'll start the thing rolling, and we appreciate you guys so much. And to continue to support, you guys can join our Patreon, where we do have exclusive content, audio, podcasts, a routine update. We do type in, write our articles and everything, and then exclusive animations in our different tiers, esoteric tiers as well.
And also, Prince will let you know if Pharrell is light-skinned or not.
As soon as she tell me about Megan.
What is about Megan? You keep pivoting to Megan. Focus on Pharrell.
Because you from Jersey.
Do you think Pharrell is light-skinned or not? I'm just curious about your
perspective. Compared to Wesley,
perspective.
yes. He is light-skinned.
Okay.
But I couldn't get you to say that about Megan.
Well, you talk. You didn't.
You never said it.
No,
you said,
no.
You said Megan's not light-skinned.
I don't bring up. I don't answer questions that
you right. You don't answer questions.
I don't answer
questions.
Right.
Sin don't answer questions
that are introduced on top of my question.
Sin don't. Now, you always introduce things on top of other people's stuff.
So what? If you would have asked your question,
so there's
first,
a so what?
No, I'm kidding.
All right, there's a so what.
If you would
that's what we doing.
If you would have asked your
that's
question,
what we doing.
If you would have asked your question first, I would have answered
Montgomery boycott. I'm Montgomery boycotting Sin. I'm starting a Montgomery boycott of Sin right now.
If you would have asked your question first, I would have answered.
Okay.
I don't do hijack questions.
You want to hijack it like American celebrities did FIFA? They look so silly with they Hennessy bottles outside. Look at them outside, y'all. They said double standards.
As double standards have to exist, Men and women, they both have their upside somewhere. Right, Prince?
Oh, for men and women, that is true. That is absolutely true. Boys and gals, ladies and gents, we love you guys. We hope you guys at least have fun. Y'all have fun? Y'all enjoyed yourself? Was this a cool, slightly above the radar water cooler talk? Because some of y'all said, man, some of the water cooler talk podcasts, they put me to sleep. Well, we hope that wasn't the case here, all right? And we'll continue to offer intriguing, dynamic conversations for you all. I know she brown-skinned, but compared to who? Hey, y'all know me. I do not go into the rabbit hole of colorism with black niggas. I'm going to be real with y'all because people's stuff be all over the place. But I definitely ignore the white crackers, too.
Prince and I, though, and B-More, we be getting into debates about who is light-skinned and who's not. Though.
I don't. I'm pretty clear.
You wasn't there. Get the hell out of here.
I'm pretty clear about who's light and dark.
First of all, you used to.
As a head of state.
Go ahead, Sid.
Never mind. It don't matter.
What are you about to say, Sid?
There's
King
black people
of the
that
ghetto.
be on the borderline of people getting into arguments whether they light skin or not.
Who, like Ronaldo? Y'all
Is Ronaldo a dark skinned Caucasian or light skinned? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, cause I actually don't be arguing with black people about colorism because I like some of our people are confused.
Yeah, like
the white supremacy has beat the shit out of them.
CJ is correct. Like people are now like trying to analyze why was Future not sitting with Drake, and it's like to people's point, like who cares? Like now
were they even there on the same day? Are they going together?
No, they were all there, but it's like.
Well, what are they supposed to do?
People are like even analyzing that. Like,
why wasn't Drake sitting in Future's lap?
Like
what are we talking about? I like the perspectives that you both have. We appreciate you, Black Maverick. We thank you so much. That's a nice name.
I like to
play around.
Try to
Sin is like a scratchy cat.
I like to mess with Prince because Prince doesn't like it when I be questioning him.
King
But I do it on purpose because it's fun. It's kind of like when one time, a long time ago,
One time at band camp.
he said, "I got a tape." I was like, "Oh boy, a tape on what?" Aliens. Yo, they got a spaceship.
Oh yeah.
I said,
This was real, y'all.
I said, Prince, it could be real, but you do.
I don't know. I said I don't know if it's aliens, but it's definitely an unidentified object.
I said, Prince, you do know that even though this could be true, that nobody would believe it because things can be doctored.
That's why I never uploaded it. I already knew that. She talking to me. First of all, I'm a black man, so I already know my truth is going to be questioned.
What are you talking about, Sin? You don't believe me?
Yeah.
I said it has nothing to do with what I believe or not. I believe you. It's just that.
And I told her that's bullshit. They believed in white Jesus. Man would have been sunburnt. He would have been.
Everybody
swollen
with a
in the
brain
face.
know that Jesus was not white.
Yeah, come on now.
Okay.
Got him up there looking like Vidal Sassoon. Nephew, the types. Yeah, No, listen. Like I've come across some interesting things, but you got to respect the perspective of the public that they don't know you. So like even if you get your hand on unidentified object videos, and I'm not saying that it was aliens because there's a black military budget. We talk more about that stuff on Patreon.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
You got to watch it back. I don't know. I was just joking when I said it was aliens.
Yeah. So, no, Sin was trolling, but
it was Roswell.
Yeah, but I said I don't know what it is, but it ain't flying like a regular plane. That thing was zigzagging.
Don't have the CIA bother us, Prince.
They are,
even though your point is I brought up the story.
She would be great to recruit. She blamed it on the Negro male. After she brought it up, that was fantastic. Some of our white bitches cannot do that. We've been training them for 4 years. This black girl did it in 1 second.
Let's confiscate the tape.
Recruit her now.
So yeah, I don't get into that space. There's some things I check out, but I don't really get into.
Did you see that alien long neck man at
Which one?
FIFA?
Oh no, I didn't see that. What happened?
Online, everyone's talking about it. It was an alien looking person with a very long neck.
Really?
Yes.
And what did they feel like? They feel like what? He was
everybody felt it was alien, or body snatcher. I wish you could put up the photo. Hold on, let me see if
alien man at FIFA. I'm gonna put this on.
Yeah, put
Google.
up alien man at FIFA.
Alien man at FIFA.
Ariel said, "I told y'all, federal sin, Agent Chaos sin. Sometimes you just have to fuck around just a little bit. Just a little bit of fun."
We don't believe it.
All right, here, mysterious clip. Let's see here. Alien man at FIFA. Oh, is he the one that got the dark eyes?
Yeah, with the long neck, the Asian guy.
I see one with kind of like an afro.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay,
let me just type it in. Long neck.
Yeah, it was one where his neck was very long. Let me go on X and put
They pulled up Wimby.
and put alien FIFA. Okay. Alien.
King of the ghetto. In the head of state.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can send it to me, Sin. Let me know because they pulling up on types of people.
I just want to show them this before we leave. Let me see. Where is it at?
Storm says, why not? We have records that they are here. And I love my alien, unidentified UFO, UFA enthusiasts. But again, especially now that Sam Altman has changed everything.
I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Anything can be quote unquote AI.
I sent it to you. Now they said a suited man.
Is he Sudanese?
No, it's a suited man, and they was talking about the gays that he looked like an alien. So there were people on X saying he was a reptilian.
Oh, of course it's X.
No,
all right, let's go ahead.
Memphis Bleak was mad. He said X is a world of his own.
He is right.
He said, I don't listen to shit niggas say on X.
No, I actually do agree with him there. All right. He is right about that. Okay, let's see here. And it's in Spanish.
No, but just the photo, for them to see it.
Oh, my goodness. People are so racist. Let's put this
I don't think it's because he's Asian. It's because the neck. The neck is why they think he's an alien. I mean, like, it's the neck. I mean, come on now. Have you seen somebody neck that long before? That neck is anybody in the chat. Have you seen anyone neck be that long? Where's the Illuminati button, Prince?
That's funny though.
Can you zoom in even closer to his photo?
That is funny.
Because we're looking at the face evidence here.
That's funny here. You know. So let's see here. His neck. Who is he? That's the thing about it.
He looked like he related to Jared Kushner.
Who's that? Yao Bling?
They said X equal District 9.
Yeah, X is wild.
X is bizarre, like Elon Musk. This is bizarre shit.
I'm not gonna lie. You try to get over it because you kind of don't want to pick up mental illness. You got to be careful with X. Like, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. That's enough.
X is for mental illness.
It's crazy.
Like, you do have some really credible journalists and stuff there, but you stay on there too long.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, no. No, after a while with X, I'm like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
Here comes the man in black.
So they said this guy is an alien.
The Galaxy Defenders.
That's funny though. The only thing they can do is highlight him. I'm like, if he's behind the president, they already conquered Earth. Like, I mean, does that make sense to you? Like, if all you can do is circle him with a dollar magic marker, like they've already conquered Earth. Like,
I was gonna say this is a part of the internet. We don't got nothing to do. We really don't. This is like nothing to do, but just like, find people who look weird, call them aliens, highlight them.
Yeah,
that's the highlight of the day.
Yeah, like this guy literally, somebody could have asked him to stand there. Yeah. And I know the truthers are like, yeah, we got to do something. I said, if he's standing behind Trump, Earth is conquered.
The trick of it is you just ask a question. You can ask a question about anything to make it look suspicious. Why was he looking in the camera like that? Why was he standing there?
Yeah.
Why did he have that suit on?
Oh,
like, you notice that usually on X, people just ask questions about just anything, but they do it in a suspicious manner.
Why was the U.S. president and the Mexican president standing next to each other?
Oh my God! Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Did y'all see the one with Yamal and Lionel Messi's numeric age? Like, I think what they say, Messi been in there for 19 years. A guy with the number 19 defeats him. I think Yamal is 19.
It was 19.
Yeah.
Numerology, baby.
My only thing about that, they highlight the coincidences, but they don't tell us why the coincidences exist.
It's numerology. That's the coincidence.
They said that's his security. Yeah, actually, you can tell America is getting a little bored because, like, the alien theories are starting to surround Trump now. Like,
no, he's regular dumb.
Yeah,
he's all human.
Yeah, you remember when they had the Swedish bodyguards that came, or they were from Norway?
Yeah.
And they were at the White House, and everybody was making like, it is true, we're being ran by reptilians.
I mean, we could be being ran by reptilians, of course.
But I was like, I don't think they would be in the front lawn.
But they wouldn't be Trump.
Yeah.
Trump, come on.
Yeah.
McDonald eating Trump?
No.
They probably like, that's the secret plan. We
Let me tell you something.
His brain.
If they really was doing that, Trump would really be in trouble because he goes off script randomly. Not for moral purposes. He has a hard time paying attention.
How long do you think someone has to be on X before they start to develop mental disorders?
I personally feel, I think if you are scrolling strict for 20 minutes straight, I think you kind of already start to check out.
So, okay, but
it's the scrolling, it's the hypnosis.
What disorder do you think mental disorder someone can develop by being on X too long?
High levels of paranoia. High levels of paranoia. And I think we're channeling Elon's spirit.
I do. It's a dirty spirit. It's a crackpot spirit.
Because y'all got to remember, all of the people that really kind of had a little bit more sense, there was some kooks that left too. But the ones that, like a bunch of them that had a lot of sense, you got to remember there was a great migration. they left. Now, I told Sid all of the black people with like real sense, they went to Threads. A lot of angry white liberals went to Blue Sky. It flopped. Now, some of the white liberals tried to get black people to go to Blue Sky, but it was like, we was dealing with y'all on Twitter.
Black
and then, so they went to Threads.
Prince did make me laugh. He said black liberals said, we're not going to Blue Sky because y'all the reasons why this country's fucked up too. Said, fuck y'all. We going somewhere we want to go.
Yeah. Dom said, I deleted X.
I know. A lot of people deleted X. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
A lot of people deleted X.
No, I just like, because
But
no.
it does feel like the Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's almost like it is another dimension.
Yes.
I will give Memphis Bleak credit for picking up on that because it is that.
Yeah.
He said it's another world.
So I don't even know if that shit's real.
He says an alternate reality, another world. It is though.
Yeah.
If you're dumb enough to get sucked in it, like it ruins your real life.
Yeah, you guys.
It ruins the
yeah.
actual life you created for yourself.
It'll have you unfollowing people in your house. That's how X is crazy. And also, yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, like a lot of white progressives and white liberals was trying to get black people to go to Blue Sky because they know black people can make any social media site jump. I saw black people that said, we're not going to go to Blue Sky with you all for nothing.
Nope.
We're going to Threads. And that's where most of the black people are.
Dom says she's on Threads too. Oh yeah, we're gonna have more Jeffrey Epstein news for y'all. There's more victims coming out. More things are, and the White House is trying very hard to get rid of the Epstein story.
I mean, I think they kind of played all of their cards, like what, wars and famine and diseases, and people was like, now back to those Epstein files. All right.
If somebody is on X every day,
yeah.
What do you think the psychosis will be?
I think anger could be an issue, you know.
What else?
I said paranoia. And I'm talking about people that are not doing things for like reconnaissance, because there are people that they're researching stuff and they're archiving stuff.
No, on X is people who are mentally ill.
Yes.
People who are spies. People who are journalists.
Yes.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, and people who try to really push for their little Stan Wars. That's it.
Oh my God! I think that's one of the foundational pillars of X right now.
So that's what X is. It's journalists, spies, people who are mentally ill, and Stan Wars.
And bots.
Lots of bots.
Because I saw somebody screenshotted two Britney Stan bot accounts arguing with each other.
Yes, Elon.
Hey man, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I told you, Elon, he's mentally off. Bro.
Yeah,
something's wrong with that guy.
Yeah, I gotta get. And you guys know, I don't see that. Okay, can I tell you guys something? And just before we rewinding down here, you don't see that on no other social media apps, folks. Like, think of a celebrity's face arguing with another account that's dedicated to the same celebrity.
It's a bunch of...
You don't see that on YouTube, Threads, Instagram. You don't even see it on TikTok.
It's very alarming. It's creepy.
It's Arkham Asylum. I keep telling folks, X is after a while, you have to move on from X at some point. But if y'all think about it, where do you all see celebrity stan accounts arguing with another stan account with the same celebrity face?
Only on X. Like, that's why I get the fuck out of there. You get your information off of X and then get out. Otherwise, you'll never be able to escape.
Say that again, say it.
You'll never be able to escape. It's people who spend their whole life on X, like 24/7, stand account, or like just delusions.
And again, I'll say this: if that's what you do, that's what you do. But listen, I've been seeing Kanye accounts arguing with Kanye accounts.
I know. Creepy. It's some creepy shit. It is. Like, it's like, it's the invasion of the body snatchers.
I think I said to that song, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
You know where the United States is going. Some people are feeling that way. I got to get the fuck up out of here. You know, they killing people with food.
Bro, I don't know what's going on. All I know is I got to get the fuck out of here.
mental illness, social media platform.
Also, Ill Magic, we love the name. Ill Magic 94 says, Threads is like the OG Twitter from early and mid 2010s when Twitter was at its peak for comedy, joy, and knowledge. Well, yeah, that is true. No, you're right about that.
Asshole to shit, nigga.
Yeah. You know, you said Reddit. Hustle said Reddit ain't that far behind. Yeah, because they got they got this one new thing on X is where like there'll be a video playing and then they'll like put quotations up there as if the person said it in the video, and you listen to the video, they never said that. And I'm like, bro, this app is something else. But you know, people doing what they're doing. You can get your promo, you know. But I will say, look, I don't mind. I think again, if it's a part of your business and you need to promote your business. But you do got to keep in mind, Twitter is the Arkham Asylum of all social media apps. So as you move away from the other ones, they got their own spots. They got their own issues. But you got to understand, you're going into hell space on X, hands down. And you may actually, like, what was it? What was it, the Groypers?
They said that Thought Crimes betrayed them. I said what?
Only on X.
I said that's only illness.
We said only on X.
We're black.
Only on X.
And y'all are, white crybabies. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but y'all went woke.
Mental illness.
Woke!
We got racists saying they missed the old Thought Crimes and we went woke.
I miss when y'all was white.
Bro, we've always talked this way.
No,
like, you just
no, dude, no. You're not gonna pull that one on me.
And you know what you realize is, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah,
something's wrong with you. I'm not talking to you.
When Sin told me, they had clipped us up, and I was like,
multiple times.
Yeah, I said only on X.
You betrayed Ye and Candace Owens. I don't know them, and I don't know you, crazy.
Only on X. Only on X. So I try not to get too caught up in X because I already know it's a madhouse. It's definitely a madhouse.
The one saving grace is there are some really great journalists that break down in advance what's going on with the Epstein files, news stories that the industry are trying to force to die down. There are journalists on X that just do an amazing job. That's the only good thing about X is that.
Yes.
But some people go to Substack though.
That is true.
To have a cleaner energy with the engagement with journalists than
that's
dealing with the whole madhouse on X.
Yeah, that's it. But, I try not to take it too much personal. I just think it's designed that way. But yeah, we had some Groypers. They said we went woke. I said, again, it's coming from X. It's not coming from nowhere else.
It's like a demon portal. It's like demonic.
See,
it's a demonic portal.
What was that called? Hell Mound up under in Buffy?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Elon Musk turned X into a hell portal.
Oh yeah.
Two-Face talk right.
Thought Crimes is not FBA. I said only on X.
Only on
X. They Caribbean. I said only on X. I'm not gonna lie. When they said that, I said, of course, this will be the social media platform for that. X. Only on X. But yeah, man, it is what it is. But we definitely hope y'all have been having fun, enjoying yourself. Overall, Sin, what would be your score you're gonna give the Doom trailer? What are you gonna give it? An A, B, C?
A D+.
A D+.
Yeah.
You said D.
Yeah, D.
Okay.
The only great things was how Doom looked and Cyclops and a few other things. So I'm gonna give it a D.
Man, that's crazy. It's probably, I don't know. I was actually probably going to. I'll give it a C- right now.
But I want to see what else they got. But we still gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
Also, Society, thank you. We appreciate that.
Appreciate y'all. I like the baby video. I think it's fun. I think it was shot beautifully. But to Sin's point, It would have been nice to hear the Neptunes work together, but I am going to be interested in seeing what Chad Hugo does. And I think Chad would be making a smart move. It looks like he's going to hit the up-and-coming alternative artists.
And he should. Pharrell, I'm not going to lie.
I think Pharrell is the name brand. I think he's just a name brand now.
Pharrell and looking at Chad, I just feel like Pharrell comes off as difficult in that relationship, seemingly. I don't want to get too deep into it because you don't know people's relationships. And I also don't like even picking sides because then when people forgive each other, then you're just looking down.
Yeah, remember you said I was difficult. You said I was difficult.
Pharrell said, bitch.
Yeah.
Me and Chad made up.
Definitely don't let them in the club.
But you said I was difficult.
Yeah.
Bitch, you don't know me. How you know I'm difficult?
What is he going to say? Now, clip that.
Pharrell's so sassy. Clip
Soundbite that.
He was when he said, clip that.
Yeah.
Clip that. That's why I don't even get into YouTubers beefing with each other no more.
I don't
You don't know who's going to be cool with each other again.
No, people call. And sometimes you say something, it makes people call the other person.
You know what, man? I just want to say I'm sorry, bro. It wasn't even that serious.
Man, you heard what they said? Man,
but
fuck
them thought crime niggas, man, fuck them.
Never liked them.
All right. Not going to be in y'all business.
Nah, man. We just, continue to have fun. Like I said, like the little baby video, Ronaldo, I think probably I could say I feel he may be retiring this year.
He is.
I think
Messi, this was supposed to be their last time around.
Yeah.
Although Ronaldo,
he doesn't have a World Cup.
If he
at least they would say allegedly Messi was able to get cheated into one. Go ahead,
Ronaldo tries again, we'll see. But they said a lot of people be saying Ronaldo and Messi are crybabies.
Of course, they the prima donnas of the sport. Yeah, can you imagine two LeBron James flopping in the NBA at their level? That's them. All right, but yeah. So outside of that, ladies and gents, we definitely looking forward to having fun, and we hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Let's see what else we got here. Well, I think they said, was this supposed to be an official date in September? Did y'all see how Jay-Z stopped Pharrell from talking too much on stage during the last Yankee Stadium?
Pharrell was talking too much, and people were trying to clean it up for him. You saw Memphis Bleak trying to clean it up?
What did he say?
I ain't hear it. But he trying to clean it up.
Memphis Bleak is a funny nigga.
I'm going to listen to it later on today, but Memphis Bleak, he said, well, let me tell you what Pharrell was talking about. I said, I'm going to watch this video later.
When they poked a bear. Hey, yo, Jay, let me say this to you.
Because they trying to be careful not to make somebody look like a victim. They know if they damn well. If they know if they say it too quickly.
That's going to confirm the story.
There you go.
Yeah, because they know damn well. He said, and I can't wait till you kill niggas, especially the half ones. I like, for real, can you be any more obvious? And you know who I'm talking about.
And they say, oh, we talk about Trump. Or we talk about this, or we talk about
Why
that.
Why would you call me a nigga?
All right, everyone.
All right.
Peace out.
We love you. Oh, wait, we got a super chat. Ill Magic says, yeah, I wasn't impressed with the trailer. Also, I was shocked on how easy it was for me to buy an early ticket for Doomsday with a nice seat at the Dolby Theater.
I understand. We're going to be there, too.
So we appreciate you.
I saw the shit, nigga.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank y'all. Me and my family going through it right now. So being here is keeping my morale up for me. Well, you guys send Two-Face Tom some love and some positive energy. Shouts out to you.
Positive energy, guys.
Blessings to y'all. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We love you guys so much. Y'all take care. Peace.
Peace.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow.
Oh my God!
Dark Crimes.
And I sing happy, and I sing happy, and I sing happy, and I sing.
Dark Crimes. We are all the same. We are all the same. More group.
Coming through your airwaves. All right, now I'm here to kick the ballistics. Check out Thought Crimes. Are you following me? Coming through your airwaves. Coming through your airways. You ain't gonna get me with that one.